that, unfortunately, because I don't think she's going to get anywhere. She just doesn't understand what's going on. I can tell by talking to her. Garage Magic will do those beautiful garage floors, make them look beautiful. This is the time to get it done. GarageMagic.com. Lifetime warranty, employees, no subs, the entire front range. Garage Magic, 720-600-HOME, 720-600-HOME. And don't clean your gutters. Reinforce them and keep them clean forever with Gutter Helmet. GutterHelmetDenver.com, 303-298-8888, a multi-patented system that really works. GutterHelmetDenver.com, 303-298-8888.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.
Sluggish traffic into downtown, northbound I-25 at 6th Avenue. There was an earlier crash, now pushed out of traffic. And still look for some slow and go traffic, just to give you a volume.
That's one recommendation. Another one is John Davis.
6th Avenue. 225 up to
another one is Mark Cranack. Okay, so those three.
I'll tell
31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny, a high of 91. And then
maybe it's not on right now.
No, I'll tell Daphne to call her.
Well, I don't. It's too hard for her to call us.
I'll call.
I mean, let's go on the.
I'll call her.
Okay. What I'm saying is we can get her back on and tell her, or we can just tell her.
I'll call her.
Shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
David Ellis Jewelry is buying your jewelry and your precious stones and your precious metals. So let me explain this. Let me unpack it, as they say. He'll take the old jewelry, the tangled messes, the mismatched earrings, the old coin collections, broken watches, yes, for the platinum, the gold, the silver, titanium, whatever. And he'll pay it. He'll weigh it and pay it. Now, he'll also do this. He'll also buy your estate jewelry and your precious stones. That's right. So go to 3rd and Clayton, David Ellis Jewelry. That's 2640 East 3rd Avenue, 303-322-8779. Retirement income and retirement savings is something we all want. Here's an easy way to do it. Become the banker. It's safe and conservative, and almost anyone can afford it. You just pay the level you can. What you're doing is overfunding a small life insurance policy, and the money you overfund grows tax-free. If you do it, become the banker way. That money is what you use instead of a credit card during your life, and you pay it back like you would a credit card, except you pay the interest to yourself. Do you get the plan? That shelters more money, which grows again tax-free until retirement. You'll love it. BecomeTheBanker.org. Find out more. BecomeTheBanker.org.
Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are, the Sharpest Rides will get you the best offer, hands down. Your car is worth more now than any time in the past. They're located just minutes from I-25 in Santa Fe, and they have the best appraisals in town. Get more info today at thesharpestrides.com.
Hi, folks. Dan Cicchini. Oh, my gosh. How can it be that we started Done Right Home Improvements way back in 1985 already? How can it be that 3 of our grandkids are now working in the business? Geez, we didn't have grandkids back then. And to think that we've designed, built, and installed tens of thousands of projects, how can that be, Todd? Dad, it's the things you've always taught us. Do good work, show up on time, price fairly, and above all, keep your promises. Our performance speaks for itself. Whether it's kitchens, baths, counters, or floors, or even replacement windows and doors, they have our wood that keep them running. You bet your time. Today's incentives. That's right, incentives. Now's the time to call and save a full 12% on all services for select installers. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com. 303-722-2295.
So many people have told me.
You know, the guy that comes on after
it's the new way to sell. For example,
he got his moose.
I heard he got an elk tag. I didn't hear him say.
Oh, maybe it was an elk.
Yeah.
You have to choose between a busy home
They all look alike.
until you actually encounter them, they're substantially bigger than an elk.
Yeah, I know.
And Tom, I know you're ordering from someone different now, or who are you going through for
Anthony's.
Oh, it is
Oh, I
Anthony's?
love Anthony's, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know who does it.
And it's the Anthony's over off of Arapahoe, or something changed? Is it, or is it the one that you order from near your house?
The one we use, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me put it in here. We'll find it.
Because I grabbed the wrong book.
It doesn't really matter.
Used to have.
Well, just curious. East Dartmouth is the one.
Dartmouth, that's
Here's the number.
Okay.
303-306-9755.
Perfect. Okay, I knew there was something.
I'm Will County Commissioner Lori Singh, and I'm running for Congress to stop the Marxist Biden agenda.
Lori Singh, Republican for Congress.
I served 8 years as the most conservative member of the Colorado
You heard from Peter at all? How's he doing?
What's that?
Have you heard from Peter at all? How's he doing?
Oh, I did hear from him. He's doing okay.
But
He's doing a podcast or some stuff on YouTube.
Speaks the truth, and Lori
You know, I don't know how well that's going, but he's doing
I'm
okay.
a fearless advocate for freedom and our conservative values. Others may try and sound like me, but I'm the only one with a proven record of fighting for freedom. That's why I got 73% at the Republican Party nominating caucus.
Lori Singh's undefeated, a proven winner in November.
I'm Lori Singh, Republican for Congress, and I approve this message and ask for your vote so I can stop Biden's radical socialist agenda before it's too late.
Paid for by Lori for Freedom, LoriForFreedom.com.
For less than you pay for coffee, the brand new Carrier furnace and AC, $4 a day or $96 a month from Plumline. Don't wait to replace that old system, not when you get a new system for just $96 a month. Castle Rock to Longmont, Plumline's got you covered. Earning your trust since 1998. Service at home, servants at heart. Schedule online. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. From Plumline and Carrier. Turn to the experts. PlumlineServices.com.
Hello, this is Kurt Cambier with Centennial Capital Partners. Are higher taxes a concern? Who's likely to pay them? Give us a call at 303-584-1161.
Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA, SIPC investment advisor representing Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor, Cambridge Centennial Capital Partners, and not affiliated.
They don't fight on the repair, but they just do it in a chintzy way.
Yeah, I mean, they make it sound, particularly in their commercials, you know, they talk about the cost of the transmission or the engine. They make it sound like they're going to fix it right. They don't.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget your insurance checkup to make sure you're not underinsured. Please, if you do nothing else, do that, 303-996-9000. Okay, so now Gary said his daughter's HOA is screwing around. Let's talk. Gary, what's going on? This sounds complicated to me. What's happening?
So what happened was they got a contract on a house, and they went to the people.
Oh, they're selling their home, right?
Right, they're selling a townhome.
This is your daughter.
And the lender.
Okay.
My daughter.
Uh-huh.
And the lender said that there was no budget for the HOA for this year. Evidently, the law.
Wait a minute. Who said that?
The lender.
The other for the buyers.
Buyers were trying to.
Okay. The buyer's lender said, "Hey, we don't trust this place because they don't have a budget, so we don't know what to stick in for the HOA fees," right?
Correct.
Wow. Did they reject the loan because of that?
They rejected the loan. They lost the contract.
Well, hold on. Because the HOA? That's weird.
Yes, I agree.
Well, wait a minute. What do the bylaws say about the I've never heard of this happening before. Hey, Daff, let's get Kurt Rogers on from Affordable Interest. I'd like to pick his brain on this one. Okay, so go ahead. They have no budget for 2022, right? Or 2023?
Right. For 2022, they had one for 2021, and they failed to get a new one by March.
I see.
And between the board of the HOA and the head of the management company, they keep passing it back and forth and saying, no, it's the other people's responsibility.
What do you mean the other people's? What do they mean? What other people? There's the homeowners association. That's all there is.
Right. But the management, the guys who are in charge of the management company keeps telling them that it's up to the HOA board.
It is.
To approve
It
the
is. It's not up to the management company. It's up to the board. How have they done it in past years?
Well, what it appears is that the guy who was the president in the past would just go ahead and take care of it and process it himself. And he sold his house last year, and nobody picked up and did it.
That's a derelict HOA.
And so now
who's on the board right now? Who's on the board right now?
I would have to get that from my daughter.
Well, do they have monthly meetings? Do they have monthly meetings?
No, they don't.
Do they have any meetings? They have to have an annual meeting.
I don't believe that they have.
Well, if they don't, you got a real problem. You have a real problem. And this is what you call, and the management company is not at fault here. They have a derelict HOA. And what your daughter's going to have to do, you don't want to hear this. You do not want to hear it, but it's the truth. Your daughter is going to have to take matters into her own hands. She's going to have to get a copy of the bylaws. She's going to have to do a recall election on an inactive board and elect new members and do it the right way. I'm serious. She needs to get signatures too. That she needs to go by whatever the bylaws say. This is a derelict HOA. Everyone dropped the ball. And now no one will get a loan for that place. No one. No one.
Exactly. And that's their situation now, is they're under contract again because
they're not going to get a loan.
By the board. Yeah, they were told by the board that it was taken care of, and then it turned out that no, nothing's been
How
done.
do they? What board? Who's communicating them? You say the board. They were told by the board. Who's the board?
Different members of the HOA board.
How many are on the board? How many are on the board?
I'm not certain. I think that it's members of about probably 4, but I am not certain.
I'll tell you something that might do this, Gary.
Uh-huh.
If you have a letter written by, like, OLS Law, Brad O'Brien, real estate attorney on our referral list, if you have him write a letter, if your daughter has him write a letter saying, this has cost me money because the HOA is derelict in their duties, and I'm considering a civil suit if a budget is not adopted. I mean, if a budget's not adopted, here's what I want to know. How are they collecting homeowners' fees?
They're collecting off of last year's budget.
Okay.
And so, but they've already, evidently, they have a budget in place where they're going to raise it this year.
Yeah.
But nobody's done anything to certify that budget, and the budget hasn't been approved.
When will it be approved?
There's nothing in place to approve it right now. And the pushback keeps, like I said, the pushback is that the HOA keeps saying it's not ours, it's the management. The management keeps saying, no, it's the HOA.
Well, it is the HOA. Okay, I'm breaking the tie for you. It's not the management's responsibility to come up with a budget for the HOA. They just manage whatever the HOA comes up with. Okay? It's the HOA's problem. Gary, tell him you checked with someone and you know it's the HOA's problem. And if they don't do it, you're suing them.
No.
I mean, that's what I would do. You're going to have to make a threat or two. I don't know what else to tell you. If they don't do it, your daughter has to get enough signatures to do a recall election and get rid of them. It's not an easy process. This is a nightmare.
That is the truth.
And it's not what you wanted to hear, but I have to tell you the truth. You have this must be taken seriously. So, have you called the board yet?
They have called the board. They have talked to the board. They've talked to the management company.
Tell your daughter it's the HOA problem solely. It's not the management company. All the management company does is whatever the HOA votes in. So tell her that. And tell her to threaten to sue them literally for loss of sales and revenue because of what's going on. Just please do that. You're going to have to do it. Because if you don't, nothing will change. Nothing we do can make them do that. But she can threaten a lawsuit. So let me know what happens. Really, have her call me after she talks to them, and we'll help her in the next step if she needs to have an attorney write a letter. This is ridiculous.
Now,
I've never heard that before.
This report is sponsored by the Truth with Lisa Booth podcast.
Overall, your drive on I-25 is in good shape. With heavier traffic northbound between Santa Fe and Spear.
It's ridiculous.
Free between Golden and Aurora. And again, watch for some slower traffic.
Thank you, by the way, for pizza. I wasn't thinking.
To Wicker Way westbound between 270 and I-25. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny.
Pete McGuire's a great guy. Is he complaining about Pete? Is he complaining about Pete?
She is.
Or she is? Call Pete.
Her name is her.
Call Pete.
Okay.
He
303 691
691-98.
Here.
Yeah, we do have
303. I'm going to put it on notes.
Okay, good. Yeah, oh, you're on countdown.
On the iHeart app, Spotify, or wherever you hear.
You want floor coverings, whether it be a wide variety of carpeting, LVT, which is ultra vinyl tile, great stuff. Or you want hardwoods, engineered floors, laminates, Simply Floors Inc.com. That's INC, Simply Floors Inc. And why do I say that? They have better prices to begin with. They pass their savings on to you because they belong to a huge buying group, even bigger than the big box stores. Even though they're an independent store, 52nd and Ward Southwest corner, but they'll come to you. Just tell them what you're interested in and go make your appointment at Simply Floors Inc. Yeah, so they have better prices, better installers, and a better overall experience with a design consultant for each and every job appointed at no extra charge. That's simplyfloorsinc.com.
For your family. Today is the day to take control of your health. Start each day with Grainberry cereals. I'm Peter Harris with Breaking News. Our Grainberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than 6 times the amount of antioxidants found in blueberries.
Brad, what did I say?
With amazing
Wait, what are you asking me?
Lower sugar than other cereals and uses only whole grains to help slow sugar absorption, which helps manage diabetes and prediabetes.
Oh, for the HOA?
To create healthy cereals.
Brad O'Brien would be a good one. Yeah.
Try it for yourself. Grab a box of Grainberry bran cakes, honey nut toast today.
I don't know if I have time, but I have to go. So.
You'll love the flavor. And make today the day that you truly take control of your health with Grainberry.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
History isn't always boring. In fact, sometimes it can be downright creepy. I'm Aaron Mahnke, the creator and host of Lore, a podcast that gives new life to the darkest stories from history. And this week, we're celebrating our 200th episode. Discover the legendary podcast that gave birth to a TV show and a book series, and unlock the love for the darker side of history in the hearts of millions of people around the world. Listen to Lore today on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Is your dental condition getting you down? Do bad implants or failing teeth have you feeling hopeless and like there's nowhere to turn? Do you dread never being able to smile again? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental here to tell you you're not alone. At Barrett's Dental, we can help you get your smile and your life back with total dental solutions, including advanced laser therapy that can save failing teeth and compromised implants. We do this in one convenient location where you'll be treated with tender, loving care every step of the way. You will never feel embarrassed, and we will never judge you. If your last dental experience left you feeling hopeless, give us a call today. We offer free consultations where you can meet us for yourself. And if you're comfortable at my office, it's the last place you'll need to go to get the total dental solutions and comprehensive care you deserve. Call us and schedule your free consultation today. We'll take great care of you.
If you're looking for a safe place to take care of all your dental needs, call Barrett's Dental at 303-502-5562. That's 303-502-5562. Or visit denverdentist.com.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20. Pneumococcal pneumonia is a conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to take my plan.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Ridgeside Medical Clinic.
So if you want me to go on the air, Tom, and say that those people hung up and they were rude, I'll be happy to do that.
Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Ridgeside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also
Peter is not back in the office till Monday.
It almost never fails.
Okay, I'll still take the call.
Okay.
It's free to callers right now. 303-499-6000. That's 303-499-6000. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Ridgeside Medical Clinic now.
Let's give a follow-up on that.
Yeah, whatever you...
But you know what? They're not all in the wrong. They're probably pissed off. But why did they hang up if you were just calling to find out?
I'd say that. They didn't want to talk to me.
But were they nasty about it?
No, they just hung up. They didn't say anything.
All right, we got an odd follow-up here, and I want to mention it, okay? This is an odd follow-up. Vivian called, and I'm not altogether saying that Vivian is in the right. Vivian may very well be in the wrong. Vivian claims they didn't do the concrete job at the house the way she wanted it. She stopped payment on a check. They're suing her. They have every right to sue her if she didn't pay. But she has every right to claim they didn't do the job right. But here's what puzzles me more than anything. And I always say, now, with caution, I want you to know this. I'm not saying the company is a nasty company, but I have found this in my 40 years of doing this. When a company will not address a problem at all and hangs up on us, that tells me something bad about the company in the past 40 years. Now, I'm not saying they must answer us and they must come on the air. They don't have to. They could even say, yes, we understand. It's now with the courts. We would rather not comment or something. But when they don't say a word, right? We say we're calling for the Tom Martino show. We got a call about this and that and that, and they just hang up. That's a bad signal. That's a red flag, right? Skylines construction, I don't know. Actually, we should find that out. That wouldn't necessarily negate the contract, though. You see, if they did the work, they should be paid. But if they didn't do it right, is it defective? You see, I have all kinds of questions, and I would have been very respectful to Skyline Construction, Shelby Todd, and Ed Tavares.
We're always respectful when they come on the air.
We want to get their side of the story. Or even off, they don't even have to come on the air. They can just talk to us off the air. But when you just hear us and hang up, that tells me something very suspicious about your company. Very, very suspicious about Skyline Construction. So I just would warn people not to use them at this point until we find out more information, because it sounds a bit sketchy to me. It sounds a bit sketchy.
And then they ghosted me when I called the second time.
Yeah. Our number is 303-713-TALK. Kier has a problem with an SSI case. Go ahead, Kier. What's going on? And what was it about? What case is this? And what kind of case? Well, a lawsuit? So you're trying to get supplemental security income? Okay, so let me ask you something. Usually you don't sue for SSI, you sue for disability. And go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's not uncommon. That's not uncommon to be turned down the first time. Okay. Yeah. I don't understand. Help me understand it. And I'm not arguing. I'm asking. If you're denied disability, why wouldn't you just reapply for disability? Okay. Okay, so he was the attorney you hired to do this on contingency, is that right? All right, hold on, and you don't like the way he handled the case, so let's examine that. By the way, we reached out to him, and he's off for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and won't be back till next week, but we can still take your complaint and give him a heads up and see what's going on. I'm Tom Martino.
Inflation is close to double digits, and failed progressive policies have left Colorado's middle class reeling. I'm Tim Riker. I'm running for Congress in Colorado 7 to restore the middle class and put the dream within reach. I'm an economist with solutions to rebuild our economy, secure the border, and stop the flow of fentanyl into our communities. I'm Tim Riker, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. I ask for your vote in the Republican primary on June 28th.
Paid for by Tim Riker for Congress.
Did you know that in today's competitive home buying market, a cash offer is 4 times more likely to be accepted than a traditionally financed offer?
I have cut my gather pension in half.
Any sequela?
Any what?
Any consequences? Yeah. No. So you're not feeling anything different.
I cut it dead in half, if not less.
Good.
Maybe I wasn't on the wall.
KRFM HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeartRadio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter. Mornings at 10.
Is it helping with the
iHeartRadio app and KHOW.com.
The pain's no worse or better.
ABC News, I'm
It's the same.
So it's not changing up what Americans are already.
It's still relieving it somewhat.
Consumer prices rose by
Even a
8.6%
half
in May from a year ago.
But I'm also
ABC's
taking
Rebecca Johnson said today.
From gas to groceries to shelter, average American family is now spending $341 more every month to buy the same things they bought a year ago. Food prices, groceries,
no one's going to care about January 6th. No one's going to care about the war in Ukraine. They're going to care about
Russia's war in Ukraine affecting food
right?
and fuel.
It comes to the election. It costs
$177 to fill my car.
How much?
$177.
CDC is lifting COVID testing requirements for travelers
Is it
coming
diesel?
into the U.S. from overseas.
Yeah, diesel was like $5.50, right?
Says it kicks in.
I got it for $5.43 the other day. Station, a couple rows down, $5.39.
Claiming interviews and photo
evidence. Got us on Montrose. It's some places over.
It's crazy. Attorney General Bill Barr lost the election, but pushed for the rally and marched to the Capitol anyway. This is 18 News. A Michigan police officer being formally charged with the murder of African immigrant Patrick Leoya. The charge against Grand Rapids officer Christopher Scher comes after a 2-month-long investigation. Scher turning himself into authorities. Stay in the car! The ordeal unfolding back on April 4th. And video shows Scher pulling over 26-year-old Leoya for a license plate issue.
The plate doesn't belong in this car.
Leoya, when asked for a driver's license, shuts the car door and begins to walk away. When Scher tries to detain him, Leoya takes off running. They then struggle over the stun gun as Scher deploys it. Scher, now on top of Leoya, pulls out his gun and fires, appearing to shoot Leoya in the back of the head.
That's fucking stupid.
The Pope postponing a trip to Africa next month due to knee problems. The Vatican says it will reschedule the Congo and South Sudan visits. Pope Francis has been using a wheelchair for about a month. I'm Dave Packer, ABC News.
Pope Francis isn't much longer for sitting in that chair.
Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender.
So what do you have to, can you,
401-66
get on a waiting list?
Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names.
So your game licenses?
No. So, okay. Certain units and certain tags you actually have to apply for a lot. Those applications all have to be submitted. It's usually the first Tuesday of every week. There's only a certain amount of tags per unit per animal. also part of the new line. There's over-the-counter tags you can buy later in other units that you can just get flooded. So then, at the end of May, beginning of June, you get the visual through all this and stuff and all that. Well, you keep a credit card on file, or you have to have a method of payment on there. A lot of times, maybe somebody didn't have the credit card expired, or they decide they can't actually afford to this year, so they surrender the license. So they'll come out with a secondary draw.
So it's a secondary lottery, not a waiting list.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Then after that secondary draw, when all that's been given up, whether you're successful or not, then they'll actually have a leftover limit. So units that were tags that did not get purchased, over allotments, whatever the case may be, didn't have enough hunters apply for it. And they'll update that because, again, situations change, somebody's moving, they're not going to hunt this year. We'll surrender those tags. Most of those tags will end up getting updated and put on that leftover list. So you have to go back and check regularly. But our unit is a draw area only. It can't get an over-the-counter tag and hunt it.
Now, is there a black market for tags?
No, because when you get a tag,
Impact Travel. Oh my God! This report is sponsored by Blindster.
Will come with a carcass tag and your license.
Closed Sheridan northbound at 92nd Avenue, so watch for delay there. Now, taking a look at that I-70.
So I can't tell you mine,
good
basically.
between Arvada and the Aurora area, just some minor slow traffic through the construction zone, just east of I-25.
Well, it looks something similar to this. Okay, so this is my small game hunting combo. And then down by your right hand, there was a carcass tag attached to it. Right. So there's no way that you could just take my tag and hunt it. Not legally.
So I couldn't take this whole thing.
Slight chance for a thunderstorm.
No, it's assigned to the individual. Even what's called party hunting is illegal, so me, you, and Tom are out there. I've got a bull tag, you got a bull tag, cow tag. If you cross my bull and decide to take it for me,
shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big.
So is there,
Blindster.com.
of all the licenses, is deer hunting the easiest to get? Or is it still pretty hard? Deer.
Well, I guess that depends on the individual. Deer is typically pretty stupid.
No, but is it easy to get?
For the tag?
Yeah.
No, they're one of the hardest. They actually...
Really?
Depending on your unit, yeah, because particularly like over in our unit, well, all around the state, they used to have over-the-counter tags available for deer. Those are gone. You can only get them by lottery.
Well, do you need another water, bro?
Anybody need a water?
No, I'm good, thanks.
So,
Deck Superstore.
Deck Building Supply.
More inventory and better.
It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Friday at 4. Christy Burton Brown co-host will get your reaction to the Democrats' big January 6th dog and pony show.
Did they deliver? And by the way, when are they going to investigate the BLM and Antifa riots? Join us at 4.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We love doing what we do, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. You can be part of this. You can call or just listen. So many people listen and have saved money because of it over the years. Like with Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Do you know he'll list your house and he won't ask you for a long-term contract? You can sign it, but you have a one-day out. In other words, give him a day's notice. Frank Duran is so confident in his listing abilities. He shows you statistically where he sells for more money in less time. In some neighborhoods, he's a record breaker. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Jeff Vick is with us. It's car day today. We have a lot of car issues from time to time. We like to make Friday car day, but you can call with anything else you want as well. And, Jeff, we had an issue where a person has a Subaru in a shop, and I'm going to try to find it here. Anyway, Crosstrack. And they had the back wheel rammed into, back quarter, but mostly the wheel took the tire and wheel took the ram. And it's been in the body shop since December 15th. Now, I'm all about believing supply chain, but that sounds ridiculous. Kevin Calkin said, I don't know of any parts on a Subaru Crosstrack back there that can't be found. What about you?
Nothing that pops off the top of my head right now. What year is this car?
2021.
So they're probably looking for new parts. I can't think of anything that really changed that much come to that era. So I mean, I would think at very least you should be able to find used in case there was something out there that was on back order.
Mm-hmm. So I just think it's, I think it's a problem with the body shop. I don't know what. Maybe it got vandalized at the shop and they don't want to tell her and they're waiting to fix it. Or maybe the cat was taken. I don't know. Somebody suggested that she bop over there without telling him and see what's going on. I mean, December 15th. I mean, come on, 6 months.
That's a little extreme. You should have been able to come up with some sort of solution by then.
Yeah. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Rob. And we have open lines if you want to call, 303-713-8255. Rob, what's going on?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
I got a call yesterday from an attorney that says he's trying to collect a debt. I wasn't quite even sure that I ever had this service performed. Sent me an invoice yesterday, and it has no signatures on it. Do I have to pay that debt, or?
Well, of course not. Not without proof of debt. First of all, when was the debt supposedly incurred, Rob?
December 2020, December 23rd.
Okay, because the reason I ask that is there's a 6-year statute for collections where they can no longer use the courts and get judgments, and in those cases they try to trick you into making a payment, which starts a new agreement. But in this case, it should be recent enough that you remember it. What are they saying it was for?
I sold a house, and it was right around the same time, so I'm assuming it was for that. Just some minor electrical work.
Well, do you remember hiring? Hey, man, do you remember hiring an electrician?
The thing is I renovate houses, and I have an electrician. I very seldomly call companies unless my guy's backed up. So the likelihood that I would have even called them is kind of slim.
Well, how about the electrician himself? Have you, or herself, the company, have you heard of this electrician before?
I don't quite understand what you're asking. No, I mean...
Well, you say you usually call your own electrician. So the electrician that is trying to collect money, are they familiar to you at all?
No. Funny enough, my electrician actually used to work for the same company. They're a pretty big company out of Pueblo, but I don't feel like I ever had that work done, and they can't show me any type of evidence that it was ever, performed.
Well, what did they say was done?
Just changing out a few outlets, like if there was a bad GFCI, kind of common, stuff that you would find on an inspection report, but I just don't remember ever doing it, and it doesn't seem like I would have called them.
Jeff,
was your electrician working for that company at the time that this repair was done, where it might have gone through their billing department, even though you called him direct?
That's a good question. I don't think so, but I could reach out to him.
How much is the bill?
Well,
how much is it?
It's $400. It's nothing crazy, but I just don't want to pay for something.
Well, you shouldn't. I would say, I'm sorry, if you give me documentation and I owe the money, I'll pay it.
Okay, cool. That's kind of what I was thinking. I just, didn't, because I sold the house, so they can't put a lien on it. I was just, I don't actually want something.
Right, I know that, Rob. I would also call the electrician and see if they can shed some more light on it. There's nothing illegal about contacting them. That's what I would do. And then get back to us and let us know. Man, if you're not sure you ever incurred the debt, then don't pay it. I mean, they have to document it. See, collectors must document debt, and people don't realize that. People think they don't have to, but they do have to. They have to document debt. Now, where's the Kerr who wanted to complain about the disability, and what happened to Kerr?
I let her go. I forwarded you the email, but I can get her back.
Oh, did you let her go until we can get the attorney on, or do you want to?
Yeah, I thought we'd circle back around on Monday.
Oh, we can do that, sure, but I don't want her to think we're stifling her or anything if she wants to. I mean, with this attorney's not on a referral list or anything, but he is an attorney I've often talked well about because he's a good guy. So it's up to her. If she wants to air the complaint, we can do that and still get him on Monday, or we can wait till Monday. Let her ask her and see what she says.
You got it.
303-713-8255. So bottom line here, when it comes to collections, just remember this: collectors must document debt. They must document debt. That means when it was, what it was. And if they say things like, well, we'll just see you in court, judges do not like that. So you can mention that to them. You can say, hey, I want to know. I tried to find out about the bill and they refused and they took me to court. Often a judge would then not allow them to charge court costs or penalties or interest or anything like that if they prolong this thing. Now, when that woman mentioned Social Security disability, you may have been surprised to hear what I said about it's common to get turned down the first time. In fact, I would say 90% of all Social Security disability cases get turned down the first time.
Why do you think that is, Tom?
I have no idea, but over the years that has been, and some Social Security attorneys have told me, I would rather have a client apply first and get turned down than call us back.
No, I've heard the same thing from various people, but I don't understand why.
I think, you want to know the truth? I think the government does it to cut down. I just think they figure if you're really disabled, you're going to come back around again for another bite at the apple.
And if you're trying to scam them, you're not going to pay attorney's fees.
Well, yeah, and you don't pay anyway because most of those Social Security disability cases are on contingency. 303-713-8255. I'm Tom Martino, and we have open lines. And don't forget Genesis Total Exteriors for any of your exterior needs, from roofing, gutters, siding, windows, doors, decks, painting. They do it all, including solar. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
Hurting your neck or back can be a serious hit to your happiness and way of life.
Have you been offered a lot of money for your domain? Transmissions
Nobody's ever approached me.
Are you shitting me? It's one of the most popular search terms in all of the metro area for transmissions. You must get a shitload of action on your site.
Yeah,
if you don't,
and I got a lot of people who filter up my site with paid ads and whatnot, bump off me.
You know how I love garage coatings, but you want to have the right company do it. And there's only a couple companies I recommend. Garage Kings, how about them? They say they have the lowest prices. Hey, you may want to call and find out. And no money down ever. Until the job's done, you pay, and they guarantee it for life. That's GarageKings.com, 720-252-0370. They'll do walkways, patios, pool decks, big warehouses, or your garage, whatever you want. This is the great time to get it done, 720-252-0370. You know what else is a great time to have done right now? In fact, if you had it done this morning or today, you would feel the benefits immediately that night. I'm talking about QCcolorado.com. That's the QC which stands for Quiet Cool Whole House Fan. Why is it quiet and cool? Well, it's quiet because it's remote mounted in the attic with a small duct to a very attractive grate in your upper floor ceiling. And what it does is pull the cooler air from lower levels, and it makes your air conditioner work less. I'm telling you, it works. Oh my goodness, there's always a temperature differential. You turn it on in the morning, in the afternoon. You don't have to keep air conditioning on all day. You come home from work, the house is hot, it'll cool down in 15 minutes or less. Your air conditioner will work along with it, but it works less. This QC Colorado brings in fresh, cool air. 303-800-3419. 303-800-3419.
It's Brian with Advanced Mud Jacking. 2022 is here, and it's going to be another busy year. Denver is growing, but concrete is still sinking. Porches, driveways, floors, they all settle over time. Advanced Mud Jacking at yahoo.com. 303-424-9441.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. For Ideal Home Loans, there's still reason to refi with Ideal Home Loans interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they refi you free of charge. 303-867-7000. Get rid of high interest debt, remodel instead of moving, or buy new with their exclusive pre-approval. You at par with cash buyers. 303-867-7000. Every loan customized for you. First they listen, then they lend. IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000.
Listen up, people. Your first bet with the Caesars Sportsbook app, it's risk-free, up to $1,500. Download the app and use promo code Radio15, and then place your first.
Well, Doc, will he come right back? Can you come right back after cauterizing that?
Well, he'll just go home and rest.
But wouldn't that kind of hurt a little for
No,
guys?
no.
Why? You don't have feeling back down there?
It's different kind of feeling. Let me give an example. If you do this to you, does that hurt when you stretch your skin? No, right? But when you cut it, it hurts like hell, right? Inside, if you have different kind of sensors. So you evolve to the point where it's normal for your skin to be stretched, so you don't need pain signals every time it gets stretched. Whereas if you cut,
but inside
it's different. The most
when
painful,
someone is deep inside,
the most painful thing of gallbladders, kidney stones, bowel obstruction
is getting through.
No, because anytime you stretch any of your internal organs, it hurts like hell.
No, but what I'm saying is, once they cut you open, do the insides have feeling?
Yeah.
They do?
But not the same, that's what I'm trying to say. So it hurts like hell when you stretch it, but it doesn't hurt when you cut it. Because in an evolutionary sense, if you cut your innards, you're going to die. So you don't need pain signals. Whereas if it gets stretched, it tells your body.
So when they do my back surgery,
is
it just the incision that's going to hurt? I mean, it's certainly doing the spine and drilling it.
The bones have no nerves in them.
So what I'm only going to be sore for how about when they go into the back? You know, they got to go through. They don't just cut open.
No, if they stretch the muscles, you won't feel any pain. If they cut the muscles, you'll have some pain.
Do they normally? They normally try not to cut.
They'll try and spread the muscles. We don't want to cut muscles.
Most back surgeries don't do that. Don't cut muscles.
Right.
I mean, they used to, but they don't anymore.
Well, I don't even know if they used to. I don't know, but I know they're trying to avoid it. I know when we did C-sections, we always stretched the abdominal muscles and not cut them.
And you have spreaders, right? Literally.
Oh, yeah, literally spreaders. Or else you have, sometimes with a C-section, you'll have somebody having a retractor.
How much time is this break? 1 minute?
So that's why, people tell you that kidney stones are incredibly painful because your ureters aren't used to being stretched.
Blindster.com offers custom roof line shades and shutters directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed.
Why does anesthesia cut off pain? Why is it? Why is it they can cut through you, fucking drill your spine, work on your spine, and you're...
Because your brain doesn't receive the pain signals.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So Kier has a complaint. She was on before. I'm going to pick up where she left off. She said she was denied Social Security disability the first time around, which is not uncommon. But instead of going around for disability, they instead went and applied for SSI. I'm sure there's a reason for that, but right now let's talk about what you don't like about what happened with the attorney. By the way, Kier, may I ask you a question? Pete McGuire, the attorney, is someone he's not on the referral list. I've known them for years ago. Sullivan, and McGuire, they were on my referral list years ago, and they did wonderful work for Social Security, also other stuff. And then Barry Sullivan, a dear man, he's deceased. His brother retired, and then Pete McGuire is there. I think he's alone. He might have some paralegals and stuff, and then he does a lot of Social Security disability. And even though he's not on the referral list, it wouldn't have been uncommon for me to recommend him. Did I recommend him to you? Is that why you went to him?
Going back historically, I've had 2 different lifetimes in Colorado. My first lifetime is when I initially came to know about you.
Okay.
And that's when the law firm was on your list.
Okay, so you heard about Pete, and when you came back, you remembered him.
Right.
Okay, so how did he you're not happy with the case. What did he do wrong? And I'm going to get him on Monday, but I didn't want you to think we're trying to shut you down because I like him. Go ahead.
Right. This is what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
We were in the court, and we did appeal SSDI, and they said no on the appeal.
Okay.
So then we went for SSI, and I believe they denied me on SSI.
So you got denied Social Security disability twice.
Yes. And
okay.
So then we went for SSI.
Got it.
Okay. So this is what happened. Standing there. And the judge looks up at both of us and says, well, there's a date missing on this paperwork, so I can only go so far back. Otherwise, I would be able to go further. And I was shocked to hear that. Very shocked.
So in other words, they could not go retroactive? Is that what he was saying?
He couldn't go as retroactive as he could have because there was a missing date.
What do they mean, a missing date?
The doctor failed to put a date down on the paperwork.
The doctor did?
The doctor did. There was an incomplete
Could you go back and get a date from the doctor?
Well, at that point, we were too far into the thing, okay? But in my opinion, okay, that's why I have a lawyer.
I see what you're saying. But I
That's
don't
why
understand.
Okay?
Here's
So
what I don't
listen.
understand, though. Usually, when you're in court and there's something missing like that, they'll allow you to go back and get stuff done.
This is what I said. I said, Your Honor, can I speak to Mr. McGuire for a minute? Sidebar. So we go out in the hallway, okay?
Yeah.
And all the man has to say to me is, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Take what you can get.
Oh, in other words, they were awarding you there. How many more months would you have gotten?
Don't know, because the date was missing.
No, I know that. What I'm asking you is, you must know the date. I mean, when was that exam?
I was completely reliant upon him.
I'm asking you now, looking back on your case, how much did it cost you?
Tom, I do not know. I was, that whole time frame, completely traumatized. I was homeless. I had been sexually assaulted by somebody who was in the shelter with me.
Okay, so here's the deal, Kier. What do you want? Why did you call us?
I called because I want that figured out. I want to know how much time.
You can't figure it out until you go to the doctor and find out when you were examined. You have to, only you can do that. You have to call the doctor's office and find out when you were examined. They'll have you on record. They'll have a record. And then find out what the date was and then figure out what it cost you. But then after that, what do you want? What do you want, Kier? Why are you calling? What do you want? That's a fair question for me to ask since you call for help.
Yes, I called for help because my lawyer did not do his job.
So what do you want? Are you saying it was malpractice? I mean, if it caused, okay, well then you're going to have to sue him for malpractice. It's not going to be automatic. He's not going to automatically write a check.
No, you're right. It's not automatic.
He's going to say, we were lucky to get this because he maybe thinks you have a weak case. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much. I mean, was it 2 years back you could have gone? When the judge says, I can't go back further, when he said I can't go back further, how far back did he go?
I don't know how far back he went. Okay.
Okay, you don't know how far back he went, so you don't know how far back he could have gone. In other words, you don't even have a clue. You don't have a clue right now. You're telling me the judge said from the bench, I can't go back because there's no date on this, but he did go back sometime. How much did he go back? How many payments did you get?
I got a couple of $1,000.
What payments are you getting now?
I'm just getting the straight SSI payments.
Okay, but you got a few of them up front.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're saying I should have gotten more up front. Therefore, Pete McGuire did not do his job. But Pete McGuire, I don't know what he did, and if he didn't notice there wasn't a date, that seems to me like you'd want a date because retroactivity is part of it. I mean, did the judge clearly say if there was a date on here, I could have gone back further?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. And
All right.
then when my
Then,
lawyer
Kier,
looks at me, it basically says, you're an inconvenience. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, he didn't say you're an inconvenience because he doesn't talk that way, and I know him. He would never say that. What he meant was, hey, we're getting an award. Take it. That's what he's saying. You've been turned down twice for disability, so take it. And probably the judge, obviously the system did not believe you're disabled. Okay? They think you can work. The system made that decision twice. And now he's saying, take that supplemental payment. Supplemental benefits really are just an addition to your normal benefits. That's exactly what that, right, Kier? Right, Kier?
Yes.
Okay. So how much?
What you don't understand is the inhumanity with which I was treated.
Okay, well, you're right. I don't understand that because I'd never known him to be inhuman. So, Kier, it sounds like you've been treated that way a lot, and I'm sorry for that, okay? If you can't afford to go for malpractice because you're not going to win that one, maybe you put in a complaint with the Bar Association or the Fee Dispute Committee, and claim that you don't think he should get the fee. Just do it. You go to the Bar Association, Kier. That's what you do. We'll talk to him on Monday and bring you back. Okay. Did your nut detector go off?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not the only one.
I'm surprised that he stuck with us for 3 cases.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't get out of that phone call was Mark screaming and yelling and bouncing out of that chair that she was in black hole.
Just east of I-25. I-25 overall in great shape between Northland and Castle Rock. Heaviest stretches through downtown either direction. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny, a high of 91 today. Tonight go 54. And then from the weekend,
Listen to this, Tom. There was a student at the University of Illinois. They issued a no-contact order against her, prohibiting her from fully participating in class discussions about race relations and the police, simply because they deemed her beliefs unwelcome.
Hold on, I want to hear that again because I was distracted. But I had these commercials coming. O'Brien Legal Services, a real estate attorney that you need from time to time. We just referred him on this show. We refer him a lot. Why? Because real estate issues take special knowledge. That's why we love having Brad O'Brien on the referral list. OLSlaw.com. That's O'Brien Legal Services. OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388. You want them to review documents? Maybe the seller is financing a house. You want to make sure it's done right. Or you're buying a house with someone. You're not married. You're doing a partnership. Get it all done with O'Brien Legal Services. Reasonable fees. Give them a call, 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388. And speaking of attorneys, I hope this one you never use. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Joe Lazara, criminal defense attorney. Of course, it would mean you're charged with something. It could be a DUI. This time of year, a lot of people are doing drinking and driving after a cookout. Now, some try to calculate. Others just make stupid mistakes. Whatever it is, don't try to fight that on your own. Don't try to face it on your own. You need a criminal defense attorney. And by the way, Joe Lazara can handle this or any other offenses when life is not perfect. Why don't you give them a call, free initial consultations, and then flat rate pricing? 303-429-6200.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is there. I don't know if paper plates are there or whatever, but I think.
So you play poker tournaments or just buy the shirt?
No, I just play cash games. So if you play a certain number of hours, they give you a free shirt.
Yeah.
Tournaments, you have to commit.
Oh, I know. I've got a couple of friends who do tournaments.
And then the other thing is, one hand and you're done. Whereas if you play a cash game, if you make one bad mistake, you can buy in and recap your money. With a tournament, you can't do that. Plus, the time commitment is crazy. So I just go up there and have some fun.
I've got a friend that combats her gambling addiction by playing tournaments.
What?
She combats her gambling addiction by playing tournaments.
Really?
She got in some serious trouble. Actually caused her bodily harm and everything else years ago.
Wow.
But yeah, she'll go to tournaments, but she gets sponsored. She doesn't play with her own money. She's not allowed to play with her own money. She's only allowed to play at the tournaments. She gets a piece of the winnings if she wins. If she loses and she's not out, we'll switch her sponsor.
Wow. So she gets backers.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
Karen.
Okay. So I know someone named Deb does that. I thought it might be the same person. Yeah, read this.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Who is it you're talking about?
Just a student who is watching.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Don't forget Real CBD. Thatworks.com is great for travel. Why is that? Because it takes away anxiety. You'll be amazed. Yeah, it's great for pain, inflammation, but it won't hurt you if you take it just for anxiety as well. Doesn't make you high, it makes you calm. RealCBD.Thatworks.com. Tom and the promo code gets you 30% off. Now, we will bring back here on Monday, but the bottom line, I understand her problem. She doesn't think I do. She doesn't like the way she was treated by the attorney. She doesn't like it. And she feels like he also made a mistake, which cost her money because the attorney did not notice a missing date on an examination. Therefore, they can't give her retroactive payments as far back as she would have gotten. So I understand exactly what the issue is. But as I said, it's not an automatic, the attorney writing you a check. I don't think it's going to rise to the level of malpractice. So you may want to go to the Bar Association to see if you can mediate something. Did you have anything else, Kier? Because I do understand the problem, and I was going to reach out to Pete on Monday when he's back in the office and see if he has anything to say about it.
Well, you can reach out to Pete if you'd like to, but
well, what else can I do? I mean, that's all I can do.
That's all you can do.
Right.
I don't think that he's going to be willing to do anything, frankly.
Well, if he's not willing to, you can go to the Bar Association, and if they don't think it's an issue, they're going to drop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay. Then and if that's the case, that would, I'm not saying they are going to drop it, but it could be that no one seems to think it's important. I don't know. I don't know about the case. How, by the way, when did this all happen?
It was 2015.
Oh, my God. 2015, and you're calling me now?
Okay.
I can't now. I can't do anything. Here, I amend what I said. I can't do anything. You don't have a malpractice case. You don't have anything right now. It's 6-7 years. It's done. It's over. Are you still carrying this? You hope to get a couple grand, and you've been thinking about this for 7 years?
No, actually, I didn't want to involve Pete at all.
What do you mean you didn't want to involve him?
I didn't want to involve him at all.
What does that mean?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I didn't want to involve him at all.
Then why did you call about him?
I'm not calling about him. I'm just calling about the situation and the way I was treated. And
treated by who, Kier? Treated by who, Kier? Kier, treated by who?
Are you going to let me finish?
No, I'm not, actually. I asked you a question. I want the answer first. You said it's not about Pete McGuire. You don't like the way you were treated. By who? You don't like the way you were treated. By who?
I'm trying to finish the statement.
No, I'm asking you one question. You don't like the way you were treated. By whom? I'm asking you. Who? Who are we talking about?
The whole practice.
Okay, bye. Listen, you know what? 7 years she's held this. I'm not going to help you. Sorry, I'm not going to help you. And you know, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to like it. You're not going to like it, Keir. I'm going to tell you something. Just based on what you've told me about all of the people doing you wrong, you have a problem. Okay, you do. You have a problem. And it's not everyone else. So what you ought to do is move on, live in gratitude with a positive life, forget about those injustices of the past, and move on. Believe me, we all have to do it from time to time. It's just the way it is. And I know that is absolutely not what you want to hear. I know that because I hear it in your voice. You just want to stir that crap up over and over and over. And every injustice that was ever hurled at you, Keir, is carried around with you like a baggage. Like baggage. It's carried around. And it's holding you back from enjoying life. Now, you didn't call for that, did you, Keir? But it's true. And if you look in the mirror, you will admit it. Bradley, what's going on? Bradley?
Yes.
Hey, man, what's going on? You were mesmerized by Keir, I'm sure. What's going on?
We just are trying to get the landlord just to fix some repairs.
Oh, well, this is from yesterday. Right. Did we run out of time? I remember this. Okay. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on this one, remember I told you, you got to be really careful. And you already told me, it already happened. Didn't he? He's going to evict you, right?
They did that. Well, they did the 90-day. We did a 90-day notice instead of doing the repairs, and he even did the 90-day notice, cutting the lease short by like 10 days. And then,
well, he can't cut your. Hold on, he can't get you out of there before your lease is up unless you stop paying full rent.
Right? Yeah, the lease was supposed to be up August 11th, but he says he's amended it to August 1st.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you a few questions. So hold on. You're under a lease until August when? 11th.
11th.
Okay. And you were unhappy with conditions. Okay. And did you, now I just need some simple question. I know there's a story behind it. Did you stop paying rent at all?
I paid half rent this month after several months of him not paying repairs.
Okay. And you did that based on the warrantability. You thought you could take that half rent and apply it toward repairs. Is that right? Because that's what you're supposed to do with the money.
I thought that he'd just complete it or get it done, and I gave him more than the 10 days notice they wanted. I gave him a couple months.
But did you give notice that under the laws of habitability, blah, 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 this needs to be done in a reasonable amount of time, or I'm going to withhold rent to repair it? Can you send me that notice that you sent the landlord? I want to run it by a real estate attorney to make sure you did it the right way. There's a very specific way you have to notify the landlord that you're withholding rent, and then you need to use that money to fix it.
It was through text, actually, and it was a couple months ago, so no, I don't have it, unfortunately.
I don't think – here's the problem, Bradley. I'm really trying to help you, but you may have gone about this the wrong way, withholding rent. Therefore – this guy may have a right to evict you right now. And it's not even about eviction because your lease is up anyway. It's only a matter of a few days. So what are you trying to accomplish? If really
we're on a 10-day notice now. We're on a 10-day notice. He's upgraded it to a 10-day notice when I did the half payment.
Okay, so it's a full.
He did the 90-day notice.
Right, it's a full. I'll tell you what he did. He's doing basically just look at it this way. He's evicting you. Right? In other words, he's breaking the lease and evicting you. And he's allowed to do it if he has cause. We have to figure out, does he have cause? And I think you may have given him cause without trying to.
Now,
see, they just stopped paying.
This report is sponsored by the Mark Moss Show podcast.
Just stop paying.
Delay right now on the Boulder Turnpike, but watch for a hazard with an accident westbound Boulder Turnpike, US 36 at Foothills Parkway. Now, we do have some slower traffic on outbound Pena Boulevard. So just expect some delay there, and not an accident or stall reported, but it may just be there. So just watch for that. It looks like we do have a crash reported southbound I-25 at Spear. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, sunny and a high of 91 today. Tonight till 54. And then for the weekend, 95 for Saturday, 93 for Sunday, and just a slight chance for a thunderstorm. Currently, it's 83. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30, Hey How.
The crypto markets are crashing, scams abound, and no one is coming to save you. I'm Mark Moss, each week discussing the decentralized revolution. So join me for the Mark Moss Show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is really important for everyone. You need to make sure you have an estate plan and it's up to date, whether it's a simple will, maybe a trust and a will combined, or just a beneficiary's deed of all you have is a house. Maybe you want to leave behind a vehicle. There's kind of a beneficiary deed for a vehicle too. Listen, instead of memorizing all this, you can call Blake and he'll answer your questions, and then you decide what you need. And if you hire Blake, that's the only time he charges you, and he'll quote the prices up front. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. You know who else you should consult in this market? Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. He'll do a complete market analysis of your home on what it will sell for, and maybe you want to buy. He'll do an analysis on what it will take to buy something and how much money you need and how much your house will yield, and he'll do it all with stats and measurements and comps, and it's all free of charge. Frank Duran, of course, wants to extend this as a public service, but there's no obligation to use him. But I do want to say this. If you do use him, you'll never find anyone better. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Grainberry.
Today is the day to take control of your health. Start each day with Grainberry cereal. I'm Peter Harris with Great Eagle. Our Grainberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than 6 times the amount of antioxidants found in blueberry. Great tasting Grainberry with amazing onyx sorghum starts with lower sugar than other cereals and uses only whole grains to help slow sugar growth, which helps manage diabetes and prediabetes. Our goal was to create healthy cereals for your family without sacrificing an ounce of flavor. Try it for yourself. Grab a box of Grainberry bran flakes, honey nut toasted oats, or delicious cinnamon frosted shredded wheat. You'll love the flavor and make today the day that you truly take control of your health with Grainberry.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house. They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches, urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound. It's almost everything that they can do at the ER. You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you. I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health went above and beyond. It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Can you imagine an office where you can have all of your complex dental needs taken care of in one location? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental. If you're looking for a dental office where you'll feel safe and won't be judged, then you need to call Barrett's Dental. With our extensive skills, we can solve all of your dental problems in one safe location. Because we do it without referring you from doctor to doctor, we can get you healthy, change your smile and your life in a fraction of the time of other offices. If you're scared, feel hopeless, or endlessly frustrated with your dental problems, we can help you. We can help you chew normally and eat the foods you love again. Laugh and smile freely again. We can help you get your life back. At Barrett's Dental, we're good people doing good things for other good people. Call us. We'll take great care of you.
If you're looking for a safe place to take care of all your dental needs, call Barrett's Dental at 303-502-5562. That's 303-502-5562. Or visit denverdentist.com.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need a fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by the Built for Business Intel vPro platform.
Nice. Wait, did I get one?
Or time for story time.
An even better use of your laugh. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Intel Client. 5X480. Take B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Ranger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold. Deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Ranger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call QuickRanger.com or just stop by. Ranger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't miss the Trading Group Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 630 KHAL. Learn how you can earn a full-time income as a short-term trader. That's the Trading Group Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m.
I used to,
I
told him, take the hard crust off the pizza.
Denver's top
You know, because I didn't eat it anyway. And I give it to the dog called the pizza bone. Hi, Tom Martino here. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Welcome to the show. Now, God, Bradley and his wife there, they sound, or his girlfriend, whatever, they sound like they just wanted to have a place to live where the guy took care of the place. And right now, I'll be honest, man, a lot of landlords are being derelict because they don't have to do anything. I mean, they really don't, and they can still get it rented. The problem is what Bradley did was try to flex some muscle by paying half rent this past month. And the guy said, the landlord said, oh, the hell with that. I'm evicting him. So he got a 10-day notice. When is that 10-day notice up, Bradley?
June 17.
Okay. Now, if you're not outed by then, what he will do then is do the eviction with the 3-day notice. And then if you don't leave then, they're going to file a court document and a hearing, and you'll have to go to the hearing to say why you should not be evicted. But Bradley, there's a delicate balance here when I do this show between helping people by truly helping them with the truth or just lying to them and making them feel better. And I never do that part. But I'm going to tell you that you will probably be evicted because if you didn't pay your rent this month, he had every reason to evict you. And he was probably looking for an excuse anyway because he just doesn't like you complaining. And so here's what I want to ask you. Obviously, it was a bad landlord. He's not doing things. You want to get out of there. You were willing to get out of there at the end of the lease anyway. Right now, he sped you up. Are you trying to just get to the end of the lease right now, or are you trying to? Okay, and
I'm okay paying the half, the other half, and everything.
Did you tell him that?
The full payment, and he wants no repairs complete. That's the thing. He wants full payment, no repairs complete. So, and the condition of the house. So if I'm going to sit here and he did end it early on August 1st instead of the 11th for some reason, I'm just trying to get him to do the repairs. And
can you tell me
he wants full payment and no repairs?
Are you? That's right. I get it. If you paid him, I'm just asking if you paid him that other half of the rent and promised to pay July's rent, and then you're out of there. I mean, would he do that, or would he say no? I want you out no matter what.
So when the water was out for almost 2 weeks and my wife was recovering in the shower, he laughed and told her to just take a cold shower. I've been yelling at him.
No, I'm not asking, Bradley. Bradley, I didn't ask if it would be optimum. I asked you if you said, okay, I'll make the other half of payment. Would he drop the eviction?
I honestly don't know because I've been yelling at him to do these repairs for months.
Okay.
He just won't do it.
What repairs have you been? I need to know this.
He shows up himself.
I need to know this. What repairs has he not done that are critical? Tell me about the repairs.
Oh yeah, for example, the drainage in the.
Okay, tell me about the drainage. What's going on with the drains? I need to take one at a time to see how serious they are. What is he not doing?
So the water drain for the drainage in the wash machine in the basement used to work and now doesn't work. So we don't have anywhere for the water to go.
So when you do, hold on. So when the drain goes down, where does the water go?
It comes back up on the center hole in the middle of the basement.
Oh my gosh.
We have to drag a hose out.
And do what? Oh, do what? Drag a hose out. What do you mean? To drain it outside?
We have to have a hose attached. We have to have a hose attached to the wash machine for the drain water.
I get it.
To run down the street.
I get it.
Because it comes back up in the middle center hole in the basement.
God. That's
and also the thing is, not all the water drains from the hose. So sometimes my baby's clothes and stuff.
No, I get it.
Weird, awful.
So what else? In addition to the drains, what else?
Broken door and the pest control and mice. The broken door and the broken window. That's my top one.
And the broken door meaning you can't lock it or secure it?
The one in the front door, when we lock out the front door, it only locks from the inside. You can't lock it from the outside. So our shoes and our jackets and sometimes some baby stuff is just there for anyone to open the door in. And the basement door, all you got to do is push it a little bit.
Okay.
It's that
so
one
these,
photo you saw with
Bradley, these are legitimate concerns, okay? These are legitimate repairs. It's not like you're nitpicking. And how long have they been done? How long have they been out like that?
I've been before the baby.
All right.
I was trying to get things better.
All right,
when the baby
hold on. I got it. Hold on.
You know, these kids really do have concerns, but you know what? The fucking landlord is just going to evict them.
Advanced mudjacking. We use cement. Nothing toxic. Call me. I'll evaluate your problem and provide a fair, competitive bid. At 303-424.
Would you ever call this landlord, Doc?
Advanced mudjacking at yahoo.com.
I'll call him. I know what he's going to say.
He's going to hang up.
Well done is better than well said. That applies directly to personal.
But that drainage in the basement
is cheap. Results matter.
The washing machine drainage
results, which we'd be proud to share with
you. You heard what he said.
Firm for serious cases.
He has to put a hose outside.
Basis. If you need our help with a serious injury or wrongful death case, please give me a call. 303-770-5555.
Which you could probably get in trouble for doing that anyway, because it's an illicit discharge.
You've worked your whole career to reach the top of the mountain, but now that you're thinking about retirement, who will help guide you back down the trail? Listen to the Retirement Summit with Summit Wealth Strategies.
Can you get the landlord's name and number off the air? I have an idea. I'm going to have you call him and just say, look, we know that the guy wants to pay the rent. Would you at least fix the drain and the door?
It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10, streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
ABC News, I'm Deirdre Bolton. Runaway inflation becoming the #1 issue for Americans. Consumer prices jumping 8.6% last month from last year, eating away at budgets, savings, and the rise in wages. ABC's Alexis Christoforous says it's spiking from April's dip.
We were saying, oh, maybe inflation peaked. Clearly, it has not. If you look at today's report, inflation up 1% month over month, 8.6% year over year. The big culprit, gas prices, now flirting with $5 a gallon, which tells us that even in the month of June, inflation is still going to hang out at not just a 40-year high, we're now at a fresh 41-year high.
The CDC is lifting the COVID testing rules for travelers arriving to the U.S. from overseas. The test requirement ends Sunday. Major airlines have been pushing to lift testing for months. The Vatican announced Pope Francis is postponing his July trip to Africa. The decision followed a request by doctors so the Pope doesn't jeopardize therapy for his knee. This is ABC News. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met today with his Chinese counterpart in Singapore. He complained about the latest U.S. arms package for Taiwan. China claims the self-governing island as its own territory. In Texas today, one of 2 teachers killed in the Uvalde school shooting laid to rest. More services this weekend.
The funerals for the victims of Uvalde continue on Saturday when Lexi Rubio is eulogized.
In the reel that keeps scrolling across my memories, she turns her head and smiles back at us.
Lexi's mother, Kimberly, testified before a House committee this week about the agony of losing a child.
I left my daughter at that school, and that decision will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Even at 10, Lexi had plans to attend St. Mary's School of Law in San Antonio. The college is creating a scholarship in her name. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Rallies calling for gun reform are planned across the country tomorrow. The largest demonstration expected in the nation's capital at the Washington Monument. Deirdre Bolton, ABC News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
KHAL News Time, 12:03.
Even though he's been CEO of DIA less than a year, there are reports that Phil Washington may be nominated to be the next administrator of the FAA. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock.
Phil hasn't been notified by the White House of anything, and so we'll wait and see. But it doesn't surprise me whatsoever that the Biden administration would have some interest in Phil Washington. Phenomenal guy, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, regards to the FAA administrator role.
Prior to his job at DIA, Washington served as the CEO of RTD and of the Transit District in Los Angeles. Several Coloradans are still facing charges for their part in the January 6th Capitol riots. At least a dozen residents of the state have been charged. Those charges range from forced entry onto restricted grounds to witness tampering and more. The January 6th committee hearings are underway now and will be broadcast live throughout the month. Independence Eve is returning to Civic Center Park in Denver July 3rd. The event was canceled in 2020 and was held virtually last year due to the pandemic. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Root Insurance.
A crash on the tollway. Watch for hazards northbound E470 at I-70, a single vehicle accident. Some heavy traffic on outbound Pena Boulevard right now. And there's some construction work. Watch for possible slowing southbound I-25 between Plum Creek Parkway and Tomer Road. It is jammed up a bit as you work your way southbound. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny, a high of 91, and then even warmer for the weekend, 95 on Saturday, 93 for Sunday, and just a slight chance for a thunderstorm. Currently, it's 84. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHAL.
Ed Balcher, Colorado. You're probably tired of car insurance ads. At Root, we do car insurance differently. Our app gives you smarter rates where your actual driving is the #1 factor. Because we don't need a mascot to save you money. Root, for good drivers. Download the app today. Disclaimers made by Root.com.
Now listen,
Your car is worth more.
obviously we don't condone
in the
with
trade
rent.
setting. Trade in, trade up, trade down.
They just want to stay till the end of the lease. They'll pay their rent in full. Is there any way he can just clean that drain?
Easy to get to, just located minutes from I-25 in
See what he
San Jose.
says for the hell
One
of
of the
it.
best appraisals in town from their trade buyers. You know they'll always be taken care of. Get the best deals at the Sharpest Rides. Telling you, if you're looking to trade in, go to the Sharpest Rides, best customer service in town. Get more info at thesharpestrides.com.
Inflation is close to double digits, and failed progressive policies have left Colorado's middle class reeling. I'm Tim Riker, running for Congress in Colorado 7 to restore the middle class and put the American dream within reach. I'm an economist with solutions to rebuild our economy, secure the border, and stop the flow of fentanyl into our community. I'm Tim Riker.
I just want to see what Maria has to say.
I ask for your vote in the Republican primary on June 28th.
Paid for by Tim Riker for Congress.
One-day treatment, life-changing results. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com. Listen to us on your radio, on your desktop, and on your smart device. Denver's talk station is available everywhere.
Somebody
In your
left
car, at work, wherever you go. All you need
Right
is
here.
a free iHeartRadio app. Just say, play 630 KHAL on iHeartRadio.
Sorry, Stephanie just said that Mark's back in surgery.
Yeah.
Not back yet. I think it's the only time he's been in it, I think.
Yeah, he's had me to cauterize. What's president?
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK.
303-713-8255. Welcome. I am here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Jeff Vick is with us from Kimmer Transmission. If you have any car problems, and we use Friday as car day, and sometimes it's busier than others. And one thing I do know is that I think a lot of people are waiting on repairs. What do you have to wait on, Jeff, and what do you not have to wait on? Or is everything lightening up right now? What do you have to wait on, if any?
It varies from day to day. It varies from day to day. What was on back order yesterday, we see promise on the horizon of the future here coming up real soon. We'll be able to get parts. I've got a Mazda that's been sitting inside my lot now for 2.5 months.
On what?
For transmission work. We can't get enough of the internal parts where we could build it ourselves, and Mazda's been back ordered on the thing since April. So all we can do is wait until parts become available.
Okay.
I talked to somebody over at Ford, and at least in Ford's case, the CEOs were saying that we should expect something to return to what looks like normal sometime around March of 2024.
March of 2024 for normal supplies?
That's how far back they are trying to...
Just from the pandemic?
They're from everything being shut down, from the supply lines being cut off the oceans. All these things are taking a toll, and getting everything back to something that looks like what we're used to is going to take about another 1.5 years.
When people used to say, what's the harm? Just shut everything down. It's not worth the human life to keep it open. Money's not worth everything. I mean, I'm not saying we should be reckless, but that shutdown did no good. It did nothing good. In fact, it had way more negatives than positives. Way more.
It has hit every industry you can think of. It doesn't matter if it's automotive, if it's groceries, if it's lumber. It affected every part of your life at this point.
What is readily available? Tires?
Since I don't deal in tires, I can't answer that one. Right. But I haven't heard of any shortage of tires.
What about other parts?
Yeah, no, electronics are still definitely an issue. Just depending on the day, miscellaneous filters are an issue. They'll be on back order, and you can't get them.
I heard ammunition for guns.
That's been a problem for a while. Certain ammo's coming back up. For a while, you could not find 30-30 or 9mm. You're starting to see it again, but you're also paying the price for the stuff that's coming back on the shelves.
All right. Now, we are calling that landlord, by the way, for that couple. And again, I'm not sure what's going to happen because I think they're going to get evicted. They were withholding rent because of repairs they wanted done. Look, I really don't blame them. I think right now some landlords are just taking advantage of this renter's market, of this landlord's market. Bob, what did you want to say about the overnight camping bans?
Yeah, I'm disabled. I'm on disability. I would love to pay the landlord. I'd give him about all I get on disability for a place right now. I'm living in my car, and I hear that that's been outlawed. It's been declared as overnight camping.
Yeah, but they're not bothering. Okay, yeah, you're right. But they're not bothering a lot of people in their cars as they are in the campers and the tents and the makeshift little villages. That's who they're really targeting. I don't think you're going to be targeted in your car.
Well, yes, no, I agree with what you said, but here's the deal. Here's the catch. Okay, where do you park where you're not going to get hassled?
That's a good point.
I got to survive, right?
I know. Of course you do. Now, Bob, what's your situation? How did you... I'd just like to hear this. How long you been homeless?
Most of my life. I've been an over-the-road truck driver for on and off over 30 years. And I used to look at homeless people and just say, poor bastards, But I'm after with them now.
Now, Bob,
some of them put themselves in that place, but some of us, like me, I was injured.
Okay, Bob, hold on. I just need to know, do you work? Or no, you're disabled, right?
Correct.
How long have you been on disability?
About 5 years.
Okay. And before that, what did you do?
like you see, I was over the road truck driver.
Okay. Oh, that's all you've done? That was your career?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So, Bob, you had no choice then but to live in your car after your career was ended.
Correct.
And you do have to survive, I agree. How are you surviving? Let me ask you that. Like, where do you get your check and all that? How do you?
I get it on a Direct Express card.
Okay. Okay. And do you have a post office box or an address of any kind?
No, sir, not this time. I was just in a situation where I had finally found a place. Because the person that had bought it and was renting it to me, a bedroom, just a bedroom. He failed to pay bills. They foreclosed on it, kicked us all out.
Where have you been staying? Where have you been staying overnight? And have you been hassled?
Well, right now I have a storage, and I'm not really supposed to be staying here, but I think the guys kind of lines up with me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: when you say the storage facility, do you stay in the storage facility and park outside, or do you live in the car in the storage facility?
Correct. Just park here and just hope that nobody hassles me.
Okay.
Every parking lot has their securities now, and because of this, that, and other thing, they tighten up security everywhere, but they don't leave any, signs or anything saying where to go. But these signs saying where not to go. But, where do we go? I'm calling on behalf of anybody else that might be in my situation.
Bob, I understand that. I mean, I think we see these encampments. We don't want them. But where do people go? That's a good question, I mean, it is one. You don't have a problem with alcohol or drugs or mental illness.
No.
You simply just can't afford to play.
I might have some mental illness, yeah. I mean, I lost my parents when I was 12 years old.
Uh-huh.
I got issues, okay?
Do you get counseling?
It's gotten me over the rough spots to where I can kind of cope with it myself. Life is full of rough spots.
Bob, do you have any family? Bob, do you have any family?
I do not.
No family. Your parents died, so you have no siblings?
No, sir.
And no, you never had a spouse or a significant other?
I had a significant other, and she fell to the clutches of Jehovah's Witnesses, took our child, and took off. Found out about 15 years later that she's living down in Florida.
I'll bet you she's not homeless. I wouldn't go so fast as to talk about the clutches of them. I think it might have been a good thing for her. Listen, people find what's right for them. Again, like I said, she's probably not homeless, and she probably has a place to live, maybe even a job, and she's taking care of her kids. Listen, and so what you ought to do, Bob, have you ever thought about maybe finding a community of some kind that you can belong to? Seriously.
Well, yeah, it's pretty drug-induced. Get my, I don't like feeding people, I'm sure to just be by myself.
Okay, I want to see if I'm serious now, Bob. I've never done this before. I want you to hold on. You know what? You have a right to exist. You're living in your car. You're not hurting anyone. Where the hell does he go? Where does he go? I don't think that's a bad thing if we made places that people could park. There are a lot of people living in their car. I mean, we'd all like to believe that it's all, drug addicts and bad people and, So anybody have any suggestions for Bob? He lives in his car. Really? Where does he go? BecomeTheBanker.org. Do you know what that is? That is a really a financial plan. That's what it is, and it accumulates money tax-free under the way they do it. What you do is you put money away in this account that grows tax-free, and you add to it through your life monthly, and you use that instead of a credit card to buy things, and then you pay yourself back like you would a credit card with all the interest on purpose, and that shelters even more money. Here's the idea. You accumulate this fund until you're ready to retire, and then you use that money for payments tax-free. Joe Chiano can help you, a registered financial advisor at becomethebanker.org. You know, I love public adjusters. When it comes to public adjusters, it comes to, insurance claims, I say this: don't ever try to do one on your own. If you have a serious claim, like, a fire or a flood or wind or anything like that, I suggest that you do a public adjuster so you'll be treated fairly by your insurance, because you won't be treated fairly without one. That's just the truth. They charge a small contingency and will always get you more money if they decide to get your case. So call Paragon Services, ask them. Matt's very honest. He's a great guy. We've known him for years. 5-star rating. Listen, ParagonServices.com, 719-726-0020.
Hi, folks. Dan.
Can you can say bastards? Yeah.
So I'm on the HOA of our neighborhood, and our representative comes to every meeting every month. And she said that in Greenwood Village, that most Denver and Aurora do the same things. They are not allowed to move someone place for them to go.
You betcha, Todd.
But think about that.
They're not allowed to what?
So a tent, like,
Right.
so the tent people don't have another place for them to
You
move
can't
to.
evict them.
You can't evict them. That's what the government has put us in, and that is really hard. You know, I mean, you know how people. When I was a flight attendant, when I was first a flight attendant, and flights were cheaper than buses, we had all these homeless people. The city of Denver was paying people, giving them a ticket to fly to Arizona.
Oh, yeah, the states do that all the time. That's one of the reasons we've got so much homeless here. The same thing happened. They call them Micronauts in Hawaii now. The Micronesians will do. All the land was destroyed because of nuclear testing.
Yep.
Shipped off Honolulu.
Just crazy. Scary world, man. And then we had, I was
That
in
nut job, was she mad at me when I hung up on her?
Oh, she hung up. I
American
never talked to her.
1970 style stagflation. That means
We had a crazy guy stole a car, ended up in our neighborhood. I told you we were in lockdown. It was crazy. And for some reason, where we are, right off of the highway, we end up with all that crap. The Greenwood Village, we did get rid of them, and they are there within 2 minutes. We have like 8 police cars and like 4 or 5 that were undercover police cars. One of them was an airport transport, is what it said. But you could tell it was a police car.
Sure.
But they have them marked crazy like that.
You get this information before stagflation bleeds through your savings. So text SECURE to the number 989898. That's SECURE to 989898 to get your free information kit on gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Hi, it's Community Caller. Joining my friend Gary Zell and
Okay, I spoke to the landlord.
Legal show.
Good.
Good. Every Saturday morning at 7. It's a lot of check-in.
Well, I had a 3-way conversation.
Good.
With Brad and the landlord.
Good.
And if you want to know the results, I will tell you if you.
Yeah.
Find out it's not for you. Not every ride. They just gave us all a new iPhone 13.
I'm not going to ruin the tease.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 13 on us with select trade-in and 5G unlimited plans for every customer, current, new, everyone, to show the love. only from Verizon. $799.99.
See, Tom told me, I never tell you what the outcome is before we go on the air.
Less up to $800 trade-in / promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trading condition.
Granberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Today is the day to take control of your health. Start each day with Granberry cereals. I'm Peter Harris with breaking news. Our Granberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than 6 times the amount of antioxidants found in blueberries. Great tasting Granberry with amazing onyx sorghum. Starts with lower sugar than other cereals and uses only whole
My boss, I was talking about being in my parking lot for all this time. The funny thing is it's full of
Our goal was to create healthy cereals for your family.
The group monster on our
Right
right
for an ounce of flavor. Try it for yourself.
They couldn't fix it themselves, so they bought it down to me.
Honey nut toasted oats.
As soon as parts become available, she said she's got 16 more of them.
You'll love the flavor and make today the day that you truly take control of your
Why can't they fix it?
Don't parts. The parts.
But okay, but then why, when parts are available, they still have to?
Because they're only able to install units. They don't have a rebuild
Sports Network.
If the unit's not available through Mossad, there's a back order up. Release date's supposed to be something like June 21st.
But they don't fix it if they can't fix it.
They can't fix it.
If they can't remove and replace it.
Right. Most dealerships anymore don't have builders on staff. They just use lessons. I think it was GM that did a cost analysis on that back in the early 2000s. And most of the dealerships
Custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Hi, this is Ken Moon. Well, the cooling season is here. How's your AC doing? We'll discuss it with a well-known air conditioning expert this week to get your system operating efficiently and to save you money. That's Saturday on Around the House, 4 to 6 p.m. right here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. I want to direct your attention to Premier Window Cleaning Services and Pressure Washing. These guys are great. Tyler and his partner Nick and all the people, they do a great job. Commercial and residential window cleaning and pressure washing, including storefronts, restaurant windows cleaning. And by the way, when you hire them to do your windows and they give you great prices, you'll be astounded by them. They do inside and outside your windows and all of the glass inside your house. Really. 303-564-5574. You'll never find better people and lower prices. You won't. 303-564-5574. WeCleanWindows.co. WeCleanWindows.co. That stands for Colorado. WeCleanWindows.co. Okay, so Mike wants to help Bob. Now, Bob's in his car. He said, listen, there's an overnight camping ban, and they're translating that to mean parking your car overnight. I live in my car. I'm disabled. And he says he's not addicted. He's not a drunk. He had some mental illness in the past. He had a career as a truck driver. He's been disabled for 5 years. He lives in his car. He says, look, I deserve to exist. And you know what? That's true. That's true. We don't like homeless. We don't like the idea of homeless. I mean, not the people. We don't like the idea, but where do they go? Some of them, okay, you can say mentally ill, addicted, alcohol, pull yourself up, get in a facility or whatever, or help yourself. But Bob's not hurting anybody. He's just not hurting anybody. And he had a good point. He asked us, where do I park? Just that simple. Mike, you called in. What do you think? Mike, what do you think?
Tom, I agree with you 100%. I am a veteran, and I own a truck driving school up in Fort Lupton. And I'd love to help the guy out. We've got plenty of parking up here. There's no overnight camping bans or staying in your car bans. Plus, I'd have a restroom for him to use. But the big question was, is if he's can he work part-time?
I don't know. Can you work part-time, Bob? You were a truck driver at one time.
Yeah,
Yes, I've given up my CDL since I've got a shattered kneecap and a broken foot, so that kind of takes me out of the workforce, so to speak. I mean, like dispatch or something like that.
Okay, let me ask you another thing. Can you teach? Do you have any? I mean, Bob, I'm just asking. I'm not trying to create something here, but do you know enough to teach?
Yeah, I was an instructor at one point.
I don't know, Mike. You might be able to use Bob part-time for something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could make anything work.
Think about that, Bob. You might have a place to park and maybe even a part-time job.
Yeah, well, I'm right here in Daytona, so I'm like 9 miles away. If you want me to.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have Daphne get the specifics for you, Bob, and you can drive over and see Mike. Hey, Mike, what a great guy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, man. Thank you for calling. I hope it works out. I want you to let me know, especially if this can turn into a part-time job. Woo! All right. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Now, the landlord issue, I asked Deputy Doc to look into. Let me just recap it. And let me find it here. Okay, so he's renting. Bradley's renting, and he and his wife are renting. They have a baby, and they were renting through August, but they kept complaining about things to be fixed. So the landlord said, I want the end of the lease, basically, technically a few days short of the lease. But then the guy stopped paying full rent. Then the landlord said, well, I'm evicting you then. I want you out at the end of the month. I mean, he's really upset. And there's an eviction, and these people will probably be evicted. Now, they're going to say, we have a good reason why we withheld rent. But they may have not done it properly with the proper notice, and they didn't use the rent maybe to make these repairs. So there might be a lot against them, but they might want to use that as a defense. But better than that, I asked Deputy Doc if he could talk to the landlord, maybe mediate something. What's going on, Doc?
Well, I had a three-way conversation between Bradley, the landlord, Ed, and myself, and there's a lot of vitriol going back and forth. Apparently, the landlord, Ed, said that Brad had sent a lot of threatening notices, and he even contacted the police to see if it rose to the level of criminal harassment. But while that is in process, what we decided to do, I was able to get them to do this. Bradley is going to send a list of specific issues that he wants Ed to fix. Ed is going to send back a list of his responses, and then we're going to see if both the list is reasonable and his response is reasonable over the next 10 days. They're both going to send me a copy of it, an email, and we'll see what is going on. If he makes
and Bradley needs to pay the rent.
Right, and Bradley's going to pay the rent if that happens. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, well, that's better than nothing. They were both at odds in a standoff.
Right, so at least we got them to specify what he wants done. Ed will respond to each request specifically, and like I say, they'll both send me a copy so I can see what the request and response is and see if they're both reasonable.
Good.
And the other thing is, like I said, Ed did give the I forget which police department it is, a copy of all of the emails and texts that Bradley sent him to see whether or not it is criminal harassment.
I don't know.
Obviously, if the police do arrest Bradley, then that breaks the lease. So that'll be a
Do you really believe, I mean, did Bradley sound like he was harassing him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay. Maria. What's going on, Maria? Are you there, Maria? She may not still be there. She wanted to know about a civil rights attorney. Many times when people call about a civil rights attorney, what we really need is just to hear the story, to find out what to do. Dina, what's going on? Speaking of landlords, what's going on with your landlord?
Dina?
Yes.
What's happening?
Okay. Your stuff in your. Oh. Well, hi.
Hi, Dina.
You want to know? Well, I'm in apartment complex, and I'm actually in a disabled unit.
Okay, hold on, Dina. I can't hear you that well, but you're in an apartment complex, and you're renting an apartment for how long?
But almost 2 years now.
Okay, an apartment for 2 years, and what's the problem?
Well, underneath my sink, the electrical's going straight in the ground, and all the wires and stuff are corroded. And they won't do anything about it.
Okay, again, another derelict landlord. Hold on, we'll come right back to you. This is happening.
I can't see how the Denver's talk station with Michael Brown in the morning.
Smoking and meth.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Not okay.
Now, impact traffic. This
Doesn't
report
she
is
sound just like the lady who had a similar problem over at that place that I went to? I forget the name of it. See, and they say people don't make house calls anymore.
The 270 drive westbound coming off of I-70 after that is pretty slow as well. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, a high of 91 today, tonight's low 54. And then for the weekend, warmer, 95 Saturday, 93 for Sunday, with a slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm on Sunday. Currently it's 87. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin.
So I played at this place, the Monarch, and I had this promotion the other day. It was their 1 year anniversary.
Never quits. From curbside and next day delivery on over 160,000 auto parts to getting involved with the local communities. That's Napa know-how.
Hey, do you know there's only 2 days?
Do you know there's only 2 days left to take advantage of this extraordinary deal on replacing your HVAC system? Fix It 24/7 is offering this. Listen, if you want to replace your furnace and air, they're going to help you fight inflation. You know how? They're going to, first of all, give you 18 months, no payments. That's a year and a half. I mean, that's incredible. Year and a half, no payments on a brand new system. Plus, when they tear out that old system, they'll give you $800 for it. So you get any screaming deal you can make on your own, plus that $1,800 off. And then you have 18 months to pay. That's no payments, 18 months. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. I talk a lot about retirement here because I have some listeners who are not just getting ready to retire, but people in their 30s and 40s who should be planning their retirement. And where better to plan than at a planning center? What the heck is a retirement planning center? Well, Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies is a place where experts look at everything you're doing. They look at all the different experts you're using, and then they see if there's any redundancy or anything more that you need to have a complete plan, and they can show you in black and white where you are wasting money or how they can save you money and exactly what they charge for whatever they do. It's all out in the open. That's why I love them at rpcenter.com, and I urge you to call. Have as many meetings as it takes to get comfortable with them. They'll come to you. You can go to them or you can meet online. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, that's rpcenter.com. 970-663-3211. 970-663-3211.
Hi, folks. Dan's promotion. They were giving away $1,000 every hour to whoever had the high hand for that hour. There were 142 people on the waiting list. So I'm thinking, if you call up and there's 141 people on the waiting list.
For what?
For the poker game.
Oh.
Because they would give away $1,000 an hour. I'm thinking, why would you sign up to be number 142? I mean,
I know, it's ridiculous. And you got to go up there and wait?
Yeah. And no one is leaving because they don't want to get the $1,000.
Do other games have waiting lists?
Oh, they all have waiting lists.
They do?
Yeah. Because there's only 15 tables.
Oh, that's too bad. You can't make a reservation?
Well, you can, 2 hours. You can put your name on the list 2 hours ahead of time.
Does that help?
Oh, yeah.
People have told me about
I do that all the time.
But you have to be around when they call you.
Yeah. But they won't call you. You have 2 hours to get there. So if you, let's say so if you're number 4 and there's 5 openings, they leave you there as long as the 2 hours hasn't expired. So you still don't lose your place on the list as long as you get there within 2 hours, which is plenty of time.
to a home buying company, you would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard,
So I've been doing that on Saturdays because I'm not interested in meeting right now.
99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market or more than the
Why?
Well, I'm trying to decide, I'm 77, so I'm not going out with someone who's 40 years old. I mean, you want someone who's 65, 12 years, I'm thinking, in the next 10 years, if you're dating somebody who's already 65 or 70, they're going to have problems in the next 20 years. Do I want to wind up taking care of somebody, or having them take care of me, for somebody that you haven't spent your lifetime with?
I know. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's something I've been struggling with.
But you can always date without commitment.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Right. But most women don't want to do that.
Really?
Yeah. They want a kind of steady relationship because they're looking for security and companionship as well. But the pickings are so slim. I mean, women, whether I sound sexist or not, women over 60 really, for the most part, let themselves go.
You're right.
And like I said, I'm not interested in a 40-year-old.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
No, it gets weird. I don't know how these guys with this giant age gaps can do it.
I want somebody.
It's nice to look at beautiful people, but I mean, what kind of relationship can you have?
Right. So at my age, you have sex for half an hour. What do you do for the other 23 and a half hours?
And you're lucky if you have sex for half an hour.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
You want somebody who knows Eisenhower's more than a tunnel.
And then somebody that young, sometimes you can't satisfy them. I'm just being real honest.
I'm not fooling myself to say that some 40-year-old was going to want to go out with me anyway.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, SentryRV.com. Century RV does not have a supply chain problem with new or used RVs, and they have a big, giant facility they're building up there, a $10 million facility to service their customers, and they're doing extraordinary discounts. With new and used RVs, exit I-240 and I-25, SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmissions. By the way, do you have an RV when you go hunting?
No.
You don't?
Nope,
Okay.
Nope. We either do, canvas tents or I've got a cabin up in the mountains also.
Oh, cool. Okay. In fact, come to think of it, a lot of people don't use RVs. They use pop-ups sometimes.
There's actually a lot of people who go to RVs or trailers.
Fifth wheels and stuff?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take the calls. And Dina was in an apartment for 2 years. I haven't heard the problem yet, so let's hear the problem. And I'm going to get to all of your calls. Dina, what is the problem?
Management.
What is management? Not taking care of problems?
Everything.
Like, give me one of the most serious problems.
Okay, but I'll take serious problems. Well, I'm in a disabled unit, and I broke my femur and my hip in January.
Okay.
So I had no idea. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I went to go downstairs, but I had a walker. Well, the elevator was broke, so there's no way for me to get down. I couldn't go down the stairs.
The elevator was broken for how long?
3 days, 4 days, maybe 5 days. So
Whoa. What did they do for people on the upper floors?
I have no idea. I asked the question and nobody's answered me.
And this is specifically a place for people with disabilities?
No, my unit is. It's not every unit, but my unit is because I have a disability.
Right,
so,
and what floor are you on?
The 5th, the top floor.
So you had to sit in your house. You couldn't leave for what, 5 days?
Oh, I called maintenance, and he yelled at me and said, "Don't call me this late. The elevator's broken. I can't do anything about it."
Is it what? By the way, is the elevator fixed now?
It is fixed now, but it's not the first time that it's been broke.
Well, okay. What else are you unhappy with?
Well, they don't fix anything, or maybe they.
But what caused you to call today? What's the problem that really broke the camel's back?
Well, I would say management in general. They change management companies, and it's awful, awful. They lose your paperwork.
Have you ever looked? Have you ever tried looking for another place to live?
Well, no, not now. I mean, I haven't because it's a low income.
Is it Section 8?
Well, yeah, I think so. I'm on Section 8. I'm on disability, so I pay a portion of my rent.
Okay.
The rent.
So you're kind of stuck there.
Well, yeah, just for right now. I mean, I can't really go a whole lot of places.
And you've been there 2 years. How long were you at the previous place?
I was in Grand Junction prior to that.
In one place?
Yes.
Okay, so what can we do for you?
I don't know. What can I do?
Okay. Well, Dina, it depends. Seriously now. If it's a health and safety issue, we can do a lot. If it's not, and it's just quality of life stuff, we may not be able to do anything. It depends on what
it's health and safety. Underneath my kitchen sink, it's terrible. And I've had a few friends, and then even the old maintenance guy told me they've got the wiring going down into the ground. And it's not covered or anything.
Dina, but what is really affecting your everyday life? Like that wiring you can't even see. Now, I'm not suggesting you should ignore it, but what are the things that are actually affecting your day-to-day life?
But that's a big one because it gets all corroded with white stuff on it down there, and
I'm asking you, in your apartment, what are the main things affecting your quality of life right now?
Okay. Well, the elevator's broke. And that when my sink, and you say I know I don't see it, but it hits all my breakers and they go off. So there's water going somewhere.
Is someone telling you this? I mean, Dina, I'm talking about a day-to-day basis. You get up, you shower, you have coffee, you do something, do other. What is affecting your everyday quality of life?
Well, I would say when you go down, there's no security here. The doors are broke. There's homeless people living here everywhere. You go do laundry.
Okay, hold on. Are there homeless people living all over there?
Yeah, they get them. We never have to kick them out. Nobody does anything about it.
Well, then who kicks them out?
But normally we usually say, get up, and eventually we get them up, but they come right back.
Have you ever talked to the landlord?
Yes, we have.
Who's we? And who's the voice I'm hearing?
Gina.
No, what?
I'm my neighbor. My neighbor.
Okay, so you both live there.
Yes.
And how many tenants would you say are unhappy?
Oh, majority. Majority of people. They just don't respond to you at all. You have an issue and they don't respond, period. And it could be
Okay, I'm wondering if you could do me a favor, Dina. It's going to take a little legwork, okay?
Okay.
The reason I'm asking you this is it's one of the only ways we're going to make a difference.
Okay.
Because if I call, they're going to just see.
No.
Some of the things you're talking about, people are going to say, she's just, unhappy, blah, blah, blah. But here's what I suggest. Could you get a letter of some of the defects? Don't give me a story. Just write down, for example, bad wiring. That's all. Or hold on, slow drains, or broken windows, or elevator broken, or no hot water, and then and then get tenants that are unhappy. I want you to do it on a piece of paper, and then say, we, the following tenants, are unhappy with conditions here. And if you can have more than 3 of them sign it, I'd like as many as you can get. I want you to call us back. You can get, Daphne, give her the 303 Martino number slowly so she can write that down and leave a message for us. I promise, Dina, I will look into it.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Breakfast Baconator.
Northbound I-25 near Hamden looks
And
like
they said if they've ordered the part and they've been responsible, it may take a couple of days for the part to arrive, so they're not being negligent as long as they can prove they've addressed the issue.
Right.
So 3 or 4 days in this environment is not bad to have an elevator fixed.
Well, I know. I'm not talking about that.
I know.
See,
I agree.
It sounded like she was grabbing at straws to try to find something.
Yeah.
Like it didn't sound like she had anything specific. To me.
Don't let breakfast be boring, but it could be better. Wendy's Breakfast Baconator will have you feeling sunny side up all day long. Wake up to fresh cracked eggs, savory sausage, and oven-baked bacon, of course. Order it and start looking forward to tomorrow morning at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours only.
Healthy cereal for your family.
Today is the day to take control of your health. Start each day with Grainberry cereal. I'm Peter Harris with breaking news. Our Grainberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber and more than 6 times the amount of antioxidants found in blueberries. Great tasting Grainberry with amazing on its source, which starts with lower sugar than other cereals and uses only whole grains to help float sugar sources, which helps match diabetes.
Ryan Shirley wanted me to remind you, see if you could do that Twisted View 3 to 4 today with Leland.
Fight for yourself.
Yeah, except I'm not going to be here. I have an appointment at my house at 3. I'm sorry.
10 seconds to your left.
Take control of your health with Grainberry.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
24/7, someone I highly recommend. That's, of course, the entire team there. And what do I mean by that? Well, restoration companies in general suck. I don't know how else to put it. In other words, if you have a fire, a flood, asbestos, mold, unattended death, meth labs, anything that happens to your property that can ruin your property, you need to get it restored. You want Rock and his team at American Restoration. I trust them. I know them. They have all the CPA certifications and everything you need to make sure the job is done right. And remember, it's important, because if the job's done wrong, your insurance company's only going to pay once. So call the right company. They'll do as little or as much as you want. That's right, including right through to rebuild. 8337 AM REST. 8337 AM REST. Or online at amrest247.com.
The reveals the dark story of Ervil LeBaron and the reporters, cops, and insiders who tried to take down his vicious, organized crime family. I expected to find it under siege, people living in fear. But instead, I found something more interesting than that crime I had originally been sent to cover. Listen to Deliver Us from Ervil on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
Derek Carabeo is a dangerous Marxist who will always side with Joe Biden over America. I'm Weld County Commissioner Lori Singh, and I'm running for Congress to stop the Marxist Biden agenda.
Lori Singh, Republican for Congress.
I've served 8 years as the most conservative member of the Colorado House, taking on Polis and Hickenlooper before him. The liberal media, pro-abortion progressives, and weak woke Republicans tried to defeat me, but I beat them every time.
Lori Singh speaks the truth, and Lori Singh tells it like it is.
I'm a fearless advocate for freedom in our community.
conservative values. Others may try and sound like me, but I'm the only one with a proven record of fighting for freedom. That's why I got 73% at the Republican Party nominating caucus.
Lori Shane's undefeated, a proven winner in November.
I'm Lori Singh, Republican for Congress, and I approve this message and ask for your vote so I can stop Biden's radical socialist agenda before it's too late.
Paid for by Lori for Freedom. LoriForFreedom.com. When it comes to kitchen countertops and cabinets, you're flooded with choices. But my recommendation is but one choice, Artist Granite. Luxury with value. Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Wholesale prices on all stone and surfaces, including quartz. Pay only for fabrication and installation. And when the kitchen is done, the bathroom is free. All tear out and haul away is also free. Call now for your selection of quartz. All the latest colors. 303-386-5919. TheArtofGranite.com.
Thanks, Evan, for making your way here on this toasty morning. Are you all ready to jam? Excellent. Before we get rolling, let's start by hashing out everything bagel will be discussing. Profit margins are okay, but they could maybe be butter. Sorry, I don't mean to waffle. Next quarter, it's all a muffin. Did you have a question, sausage patty?
My name's Patricia.
When you can't take your mind off breakfast, it matters where you stay. Delicious breakfast available at our Hilton family of brands. Hilton, for the stay.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 KPOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303.
Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Harris Family Law is a law firm that I highly suggest you call if you're thinking about a divorce. Now, they can walk you through the process to see what it would look like, and you may decide not to file. It's called an early neutral assessment. They also do collaborative law, which reaches out to the other side and agrees not to file anything but to talk everything out, keeps money, and keeps the fees down. Also, they do unbundled services, so they can do as much as the divorce or as little of the divorce as you want. In other words, you can do as many things as you want. You can do legwork. You can work with them to keep costs down. Or you might just have one issue. 303-515-5000. 303-515-5000. HarrisFamilyLaw.com. All right, so we have a long time to go. I'll get to your calls, I promise you. Maria, I know you've waited. You're looking for a civil rights attorney. Is that right, Maria?
Yes.
Okay, now, I want to ask you something, because many times when people ask for a civil rights attorney, they really don't need one. They need something else. And I don't mean to insult you or anything. Maybe you do need that. Let's talk about the situation first. What's going on?
I also need to find an attorney, that code violation attorney. I mean, nobody seems.
All right, tell me why. Tell me about your civil rights violations. Tell me what's going on.
Problems with inspectors with shooting.
I'm having a really. Can you pump that volume up a little? Okay, go ahead, Maria. If you could speak up just a little.
Is that a bit better?
Yeah. What's going on? We're having difficulty communicating, Daph. Honest to God, you're going to have to talk to her off the air. I can't hear her. We can't communicate. So I need to know what the issue is. And we need to go somewhere else. Derek, what's going on with you, Derek? What's happening?
Good afternoon, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
I was working for a company here in Colorado Springs. Worked there for about 14 months. I was able to put into a 401k and a stock option plan through the company. So I left the company.
But you were not vested yet, meaning that you did not have company match, right?
Yes.
Yes, you did not have it.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So I left the company in January. I reached out to the company that was holding my stocks in my 401k about the beginning of May to find out what my options were. And they sent me an email with all the options on what I could do with my assets. So we didn't do anything, and about 2 weeks later, I received a email from the person that I was working with at the company saying that we cannot cancel your check. It's already been put in the mail.
What check?
Check for my 401k.
Hold on.
So
hold on. Derek, how much are we talking about total for your 401k?
My 401k, I did receive a check for $6,800.
That's how much you can. Does that represent the earnings too?
Yes.
Okay. You can reinvest it.
No, the problem is my stock options through the same company was hacked, and somebody got $9,000 of my money that I can't get back.
Well, how would they have done that?
Well, talking to the one company, they said that whoever hacked my account had all my personal information. They went through the website. Well, I might as well just say the company. They went through Merrill Lynch website.
Yeah.
Got my information.
Yeah.
Come to find out, Merrill Lynch did not have my stock options. They had a subsidiary that they dealt with that worked with them through CompuShare.
Okay,
so,
Derek, hold on. Your 401k was held at Merrill Lynch?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where your account was, and you had online access to it?
Yes.
Okay, and hold on. I have a few more questions, but this gets complicated. Hang on.
So the question is, if it gets hacked, is the
well, that's what I have to figure out.
Is the company that held it responsible for theft? That's really what it is, right?
Yeah, I don't know is the answer. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, if he had a Merrill Lynch account for his 401k, is he allowed to go in there and move around investments? Because many of them are just to look at them.
Right.
And you can't move them around. The trustee, it's in a fund. If he had self-directed, I've never heard of a self-directed 401k. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, it's not the 401ks already. He had stock options that were worth $9,000. What?
Some of the cash.
Yeah. So that's what the 401k he got his money for. He got the $6,800.
No, that was part of the stock. Was part of the 401k. I thought, isn't it?
No, it's two separate deals.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Someone cashed.
But I didn't think you could request cashing out on a stock over online. I thought you had to have person-to-person contact.
Well, he didn't do anything wrong. Somehow, Merrill Lynch allowed somebody to hack his account.
Or he compromised his own, and he was compromised on his end, where somebody was able to get into his account because they had his password, because they had the same name. It wasn't necessarily their computers were hacked, because otherwise you would expect a lot of other people over at Merrill Lynch to have the same issue. But
so Mark's out of surgery.
You could
He'll be home in an hour.
Cash out your stocks through a computer request. I thought you had to have person-to-person contact.
I don't know.
I know you can put money in.
Or back to Mark.
Usually with buy, sell, trade, they usually won't accept like voicemails, computer.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't.
Oh, I'm just.
Yeah, I don't know the answer.
I'm just spitballing it too, man.
Yeah, I mean that may very well be true.
This is ABC News. The Pope is putting off a trip to Africa next month over.
I know I have a financial planner that has all of my stuff.
And stock options.
If I want to cash something in, I have to call him.
No.
So I don't even understand what he had. I gotta figure it out.
He bought $9,000 worth of the company stock.
You know, when he says fighting inflation is my top priority, even though it's not my fault. Look at millions of Americans are moving up to better jobs and better pay. When I took office, families care. He just kept telling people how much better off we are. How the fuck can we tell?
Say it often enough, somebody's got to believe it.
Every time he comes on, he tells us how good we're doing.
The most robust, what do you call it? The most robust comeback.
Right, ever.
Yeah, we created more jobs than any other administration in history.
How much?
If you create a job, people are coming back to.
How much is the federal gas tax on a gallon of gas?
Whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, or
no, but I just don't understand.
But one thing, they just got rid of the federal gas tax. You could do that instantly. And that would solve a big, well, it would help.
All you have to do is say, turn on the damn pumps. You didn't even have to, they don't just tell them, turn the pumps on. Just start going, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, that will cause an instant reaction inside the market.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not going to come back down to $2 over fucking, right? But you're going to see that come down because then you're going to have Venezuela, you're going to Saudi Arabia, you're going to have Russia. They're going to have no choice but to start pumping more oil. They're not going to be able to hold it at bay.
I'm with you 100%. But that might take a couple of weeks. If you
18.3%.
If you get rid of the gas tax, that could be done immediately. It could be done in 10 minutes. And you just lower the gas tax by 20%. Or you lower the price of gas by 20%.
Yeah, but okay, so the gas tax itself, though, so what are the ramifications on the backside of doing that? I mean, it's the same thing as turning around where they had you could
just
suspend your Social Security. Right? I didn't even give my guys the fucking option because I probably would have taken it. Because you still owe the damn money. But, you were able to wait until April 15th to fucking pay it.
Right. But if you just get rid of the gas tax, just add it to the federal deficit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a drop in the bucket.
I don't know about a drop in the bucket. Maybe you got the new fee now. You've seen that one with the new delivery fees, so they're going to be attached to everything. It gets dropped off retail by motor car in Colorado.
No.
What's that?
It's a sneaky way of Polis getting around Tabor.
All right, everything is good.
Oh, yeah. So, but yeah, it's called a fee, and for every retail item that is delivered by a motor vehicle, there's a 75-cent tax, or a 75-cent fee attached to each item. Well, this is going to attach itself to Chinese food places, pizza places, and all these mom and pops that depend on that. But I've known full well, as much as that's annoying, the exact reason they did it, because they're going after it. That means they can actually put that fee on everything that's delivered by Amazon, by FedEx, by UPS. If it's a subject to Colorado sales tax, it's a 75-cent fee that's going on everything. Every delivery. Even if you get, sometimes you buy 10 items from Amazon, all the same purchase, but it ends up coming in 3 or 4 different deliveries. So each one of those items is subject to that 75 cents.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking at?
I know they've been using fees as way around table.
Yeah. And there's actually a Colorado tax form that has to be filled out in order to submit the money.
Or call an agent for a quote today.
It'll be interesting to see if Michael Bennett is deposed.
The accidental senator. What do you think the shot is actually getting Polis out?
I think it's a good chance.
Really?
Can I ask you, do you think Polis did a bad job, has done a bad job?
Yeah, I think it's crap.
Well,
not only just like these fees that we were just talking about, the mandates, the way he put it, even when the science showed everything otherwise, stomping his feet and keeping places closed. He was, as much as everybody, Trump was definitely part of the problem. He started the initial shutdown, but they kept these things going. They killed economies. He took away qualified immunity from the cops. They pulled out all the school resource officers. No, he's got to fucking go.
I think there's a good chance he will. When is his term up? In 2022?
Yeah, he's up for this year.
Oh, he is this year?
Yeah.
Because I've only heard on the radio ads for senator and Congress people. I've not heard anything about a mayoral race.
Mayoral?
I mean, a gubernatorial race. And he's up in 2022?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. Jeff Vick is with us from Kimmer Transmission. Let's go right to the phones. And now, Derek, I want to get this straight, Derek. People call us with problems, questions, complaints. We try to solve them. We've recovered over the years hundreds of millions of dollars for people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Derek, I want to ask something real quick and very basic questions without stories. Did your 401k contain those stocks within the 401k, or were there two separate benefits?
Two separate benefits.
Okay, so you had a stock account with stock options and a 401k. The 401k was cashed out, but the stocks are missing. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how do you know from month to month how many stocks you had?
I started receiving a letter from CompuShare that my account has been closed. And the
but you only worked there for 14 months. So here's what I'm getting at. I have never heard of a company giving employees $9,000 in stock for working there 14 months. So I don't understand. How did you get the stock? What were the conditions in which you got the stock? Let's not talk about the disappearance. How did you earn that stock?
I bought them.
Oh, they were stock options. That's what you said. So you bought them. In addition to the money you put in your 401k, you were able to buy stock at premium prices. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you have records that this is ESOP, isn't it what they call it, employee stock ownership plan, or is it different? It might be different, but in any case, you have records of buying stock. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I'd like to know is how many shares did you buy?
Ooh, I'd have to go back and look.
Okay, but you had okay. The latest account before you resigned, your latest account showed how much in stock?
The $8,900, $8,904.
And what statement was that? From what month?
It was from March
of this year.
Yes, sir.
So your March statement showed $9,800.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you asked about this, or when you went into Merrill Lynch to find it, they were gone.
I started receiving letters from CompuShare and from Merrill Lynch that all of my accounts had been closed out per my request. So
who do you, Derek? This is terrible. Let's get right to it. Who took it? Who do you think took your stock?
Nobody knows. They showed me, or they gave me.
But isn't there some protection at Merrill Lynch for this?
There is through Merrill Lynch, but because they didn't handle the stock options, only the 401k, which I did get the money for, thank God. But because CompuShare was handling the stock options, they said that there's nothing they can do. They show a bank account that it went into.
And whose bank account did it go into?
They don't have a name. And it was closed already by the time that I got the letter saying that my...
Holy crap. So you're a victim of cybercrime.
Yes. They told me to file a police report. Of course, I did with the local municipality.
No, you need to do the FBI. You need to do the FBI.
Okay.
I mean, really, that's wire fraud. This is the FBI.
Okay.
Local police, are you kidding me? They wouldn't know what to do with this.
No, and they didn't.
But this is $9,800, and then it was gone. Okay, now, in order to get into the account, when you went into your Merrill Lynch, was your stock seen there?
No.
How did you look at your stock when you wanted to look at your stock? Go ahead.
What they call a single sign-on. I didn't even know that Merrill Lynch did not have my stock account. Every time I had talked to them, they gave me...
I'm not talking about talking to him, Derek. Here's what I'm talking about. When you went online to look at your account, or did you never do that?
We did.
When you went online to look at your 401k account, did you also see a stock account?
You had to click on a link to go to CompuShare.
So CompuShare was CompuShare held your stock.
Yes.
And does CompuShare have your account still open?
No.
Okay. So Merrill Lynch had nothing to do with your stock.
No. That's what they're claiming.
Was there a way to go online directly to CompuShare?
No. And they show that
so someone had to have your someone had to have your Merrill Lynch login.
Yes.
And then they would have had to have clicked. What's that?
They went through the Merrill Lynch portal. They show that somebody went through the Merrill Lynch portal and sent an email to CompuShare to sell my stocks. And they didn't even have my email address. They did it with some bogus email.
Oh my God. And CompuShare, and CompuShare says we're not responsible?
They're saying that because they went through the Merrill Lynch website, that there's nothing they could do. They did everything legal.
And how did they get your login information? Do you have a stupid password?
No.
No, seriously, how'd they do it?
I don't know.
Do you have two-step verification?
No. Merrill Lynch doesn't offer that.
Are you sure of that?
Yep.
So if
when
you
I signed up,
go ahead.
When I signed up, it was through the company, so everything. I thought they honestly had. Every time I talked to them, I always thought that they had both of my accounts. I was floored when I started getting letters from CompuShare saying that my stock.
Well, that part doesn't. That doesn't matter. What difference does that make?
What about
Hold on, just wait a second, Doc. Okay. What difference does that make? Where your stocks were? What difference does that make?
Well, I just didn't know it was with CompuShare, so I never logged into that account. I never set up a password or a PIN with CompuShare because I didn't know they had my stocks.
Could you have done it directly through CompuShare, set up a username and password?
I don't know.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. What difference does it make? All you cared about was getting to your portal. It was secure.
Yeah. Yes.
They told you to complain to the police. You need to go to the FBI. I don't believe the SEC does this kind of investigation. They investigate investor fraud. I don't think.
What about FINRA?
I don't think they do either. I mean, FINRA licensed people. The SEC. I think we're getting a skew here. It's fraud. It's wire fraud. FINRA doesn't know about wire fraud. I mean, it's the FBI, right? I mean, I would say, but they're not going to take one case. That's the problem. I mean, they're going to say, well, okay, we'll look into it. And unless they had other complaints, I'm not sure they will.
What about if you took Merrill Lynch to small claims court and at least got $7,500?
It's not Merrill Lynch. They just provided a portal to CompuShare. And and how do you blame Merrill Lynch for someone hacking into his account?
Well, I don't know whether or not their obligation is to protect the account.
Does Merrill Lynch say we have no obligation here?
Yes, because they were only responsible for my 401k, which I did get a check because I also got an email about a week before all this started happening, that an email from the guy that I was talking to, and he said in the email, sorry, we can't cancel your check. It's already been put in the mail.
Right, meaning somebody was trying to get that from you too.
Yep. Yes, they were. And I didn't know.
Derek, do you have any Derek, do you have any financial planners or people in your household or anyone who can get access to your computer?
No. Nope.
You've never given your username or password to somebody got into your Merrill Lynch account.
I know, and I don't know how they did it.
God, neither do I.
And it was that I let this sit for 14 months and did nothing with it until I called Merrill Lynch to find out what my options were. Then within 2 weeks, my money's gone.
Well, how do you know it was there before that?
Because I'd go in and check it.
So are you kind of insinuating that someone at Merrill Lynch did it?
I don't know. Nobody can tell me how in the heck they got into it. But they showed 15 hacks through their investigation. 15 hacks that were done from. It was done through a CenturyLink account. We don't have CenturyLink.
Man, but did they give you the email address?
Yes, I did get the email address. I got the bank account number, the bank account.
Okay, hold on. Well, then the FBI can subpoena that information. So can the police.
But the police are not doing nothing. I mean, it's our local sheriff down here.
Where?
In the Springs, El Paso County Sheriff.
Oh, they're not good.
No. Report, and I filed the report in May when all this started happening. I've heard nothing back.
Okay, you got to call the FBI, call a local field office and call the FBI and say, look, if I have the bank account where these stocks went into, I should be able to get those stocks.
The bank account's been closed because they gave me the number and the name of the bank. I called the bank.
What's the bank?
I do not have an account there.
What's the bank?
MetaBank.
But listen, even though the banks that the accounts closed, they have a name associated with it, don't they?
Well, they won't. I can't get past the initial person.
Well, you can if you're the FBI. That's what you need, Derek. You need to call the FBI. Okay. Call us back after you call the FBI, okay? Really, call us back. I really want to hear from you. I'm writing this down for a follow-up. David Ellis Jewelers will buy your estate jewelry now and your precious gems, diamonds, all of that. Yes, it doesn't have to be junk, although they'll buy your junk too. If you have in a drawer some tangled messes, old chains, mismatched earrings, incomplete coin collections, whatever you have, broken watches, they'll buy it for the gold, silver, titanium, whatever it contains. So go to 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Clayton. And he'll weigh it and pay it for the junk. And then for the estate jewelry, he'll give you a fair price. David Ellis Jewelry, 303-322-8779. 3rd and Clayton.
Greta Van Susteren is back and making waves.
It's not 7,500.
Well, no, but so he loses 1,400 instead of 8,900.
Well, but it was county show that you lost.
It's not. Merrill Lynch did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong.
Journalism the way it ought to be. That's why millions are making the switch.
But you said there were 15 hacks. Was that 15 different individuals or 15 times somebody accessed his account?
That's what I don't know.
39747 or go to GretasBack.com. That's GretasBack.com. Newsmax is America's fastest growing cable news channel. It's on all major cable systems and streaming platforms. Make the switch today and get the latest on Greta's new show. Text Greta to 39747. Newsmax is real news for real people. Texting the world through automated.
I bet he's used his phone to access that account. That's all somebody else.
Always side with Joe Biden over America. I'm Will County Commissioner Lori Singh, and I'm running for Congress to stop the Marxist Biden agenda.
Lori Singh, Republican for Congress.
I've served 8 years as the most conservative member of the Colorado House, taking on Polis and Hickenlooper before him. The liberal media, pro-abortion progressives, and weak woke Republicans tried to defeat me, but I beat them every time.
Lori Singh speaks the truth, and Lori Singh tells it like it is.
I'm a fearless advocate for freedom and our conservative values. Others may try and sound like me, but I'm the only one with a proven record of fighting for freedom. That's why I got 73% of the Republican Party nominating Congress.
Lori Singh's undefeated, a proven winner in November.
I'm Lori Singh, Republican for Congress, and I approve this message and ask for your vote so I can stop this radical socialist agenda before it's too late.
I've heard, like I said, I haven't heard any gubernatorial that I can remember. All this is in advertising, and I haven't heard any commercials.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of senators.
Yeah, senators, but a lot of.
But since the primary's not over, why would you spend the money anyway?
Oh, the primary. Oh, you're right.
So most of the ads you're hearing right now, they're vying for the primaries.
Right. But you haven't heard any primaries for Republican gubernatorial candidates. I've not heard a lot of them.
Is it right for you? Give us a call at 303-584-1161 to discuss. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc. A broker dealer, member of FINRA, SIPC investment advice representing Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc. Registered investment advice by Merchant Centennial Capital Partners and other.
Did you know that when you start losing your hair, it means your hair follicles have gone dormant? Meet Revella. Powered by breakthrough ingredient profelanil, Revella Hair Revival Serum directly targets and reawakens hair follicles. After a 6-week clinical trial using Revella, 97% of women saw thicker, fuller-looking hair. So go to RevellaHair.com and enter code RADIO15 for 15% off. Revella, R-E-V-E-L-A. Revella for your money back.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter.
They so want to indict Trump on sedition. So that, you know why? To keep him from running. That's the only. But here's the thing: even if they keep Trump, let's say they do keep him from running, I think in a way
that'd be one of the best things that could happen for him. I think his brand is too wounded.
I know. I'm saying then you get somebody like who knows?
He's a Trump clone, but I think right now your best runner is going to be Ron DeSantis.
Oh my God, he would kill it. He would kill it. You think he has his eye on the White House?
I know he has his eye on the White House. The problem is, if he wants Trump's endorsement, and if he wants Trump's endorsement, and if Trump runs, he's not going to run, because otherwise he's not going to get that endorsement.
No, he can wait. Now, is it 2 consecutive terms you're not allowed to have?
Just 2 terms period total. Yeah.
No matter what. So if he ran and won, he could never run again.
Correct. Now, with the exception
he'd be a one-termer, 2 one-termers.
But which has been done before historically.
Yeah, but it's not a great thing to do.
No.
It's better to have 8 years.
The only other exception to that is because you can get tenures. So, i.e., a vice president steps in for president because of death or whatever. As long as they serve half or less of the initial term, it doesn't count against your term limits.
So Ford could have run twice more.
Yeah, they could wait until...
Ford never won election. He was the only unelected president ever, right?
I think so.
Wasn't he? God,
yeah.
He was the only unelected president.
But,
never elected.
I mean, because there's already talk, there has been talk for a long time, but it's starting to get to be some serious chatter about invoking the 25th Amendment. And that's not by the
on Biden?
Yes, and that's not by Republicans, it's by the Democrats themselves.
Hi, Tom, we're here. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Can we hear Maria better now? I hope we can. I can't. All right, Maria, hi. I'm so sorry we're having trouble. Let's talk about this. Maria, you want to get a...
Yeah. Can you hear me
yes,
better now?
I can, and it's great. Why do you think you need a civil rights attorney? Many times, as I said, you may not need one. Let's talk about it. What's going on?
Well, just city inspectors that have, egregiously abused power.
Inspectors where?
City of Denver.
City of Denver. Okay. Well, tell me what you're talking about. Like building inspectors?
More like neighborhood supports inspectors.
I don't know what they are. Tell me the situation. I need to know the situation.
Well, so bad that, in paraphrasing, not using these exact words, one of them told me, I can make life easier for you, or I can make your life miserable.
But what kind of inspectors are we talking about, Maria? I don't understand this situation. They didn't come knock on your door and say, Maria, we can make your life miserable. What is the situation? Tell me your story. Huh?
It's actually, yeah. I think I just need to, yeah, they kind of did just to.
So one day you got a knock on the door from 2 city inspectors who said, we can make your life miserable.
No, down the road. This has been going on and on and on.
Maria, is there a way you can relate to us a story where A follows B and then C and then D? I don't understand anything you're talking about. Help me out here.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm in fear of these people.
Okay, okay, Maria, what was your first encounter with these inspectors?
That was my first encounter.
You're not telling me anything. You called me up and you said, I'm in fear for my life from these city inspectors who say they can make my life as miserable or as nice as they want to. Who are these? Are they building inspectors? Who are they? What kind of inspectors?
Similar to that.
Well, what was why were you encountering an inspector? I'll bet you that 90% of all Denverites never see an inspector in their lives. So what was the circumstance that brought an inspector into your life? Goodbye. Don't take the call again, okay? Don't take the call again. Give her a mental hospital. Craig, go ahead, Greg. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. I have a problem. I bought 2 rifles online through a gun website called gunbrokers.com. When I went to pay, it was the same party that I bought them through on different days. When I went, I made the payment on their website online, not through gunbroker.com. And
then why were you on gunbrokers.com at all to begin with? Why were you on there at all?
Because it's a large listing site.
And when you saw the listing on Gunbrokers, you went directly to the other site?
I actually bought the gun. It wanted on auction at gunbrokers.com. After I won the auction, they instructed me to go to their website and make the payment.
Got it. Then what happened?
They haven't shipped the guns. They gave me a fake UPS tracking number. They're not answering calls. 9 other people on gunbroker.com have listed them as fraudulent now.
Okay, Gunbrokers is just the website, but you won an auction and someone else was selling it.
Correct.
Who was the seller?
A company called Wilson Firearms in Ellerton, Florida.
Wilson Firearms. In where in Florida?
Ellerton.
Ellerton. Okay, here's what I want to know. Do they really exist?
They're probably on a moving company as well.
Do they actually? Is there an actual Wilson Firearms in Ellerton, Florida?
They're a registered company on the Secretary of State of Florida's website.
And you went to Wilson Firearms website to make your payment?
Correct.
What was that website?
It was just a link that went to their website. Forgive me, I'm not in front of my computer right now, but it's if you do a search, Wilson Firearms, Ellerton, Florida, it comes up.
And is that the same website you went to, or was it a fake link?
I was instructed to go to that website. I can't tell you if there was a fake link.
Okay, hold on. How did you make payment on that website?
Credit card.
Okay, well then just get your money back.
Okay, should I call and say I've been cheated, or should I call and say I didn't make the purchase?
I know. Hold on. You're right. That's a good question. It's a really good question. Let's think about it. Hold on. That's a good question, but you can get...
No, it just says you made a purchase, you never got the item. It's that simple.
Do you know about this place?
The gun broker? I know gun broker. But I don't know.
Is Gun Broker a legit site?
Oh yeah, I've actually bought from them before.
But you don't buy from them; they just buy.
Right, it's kind of like an eBay store. So they're just taking a commission base, and then it gets shipped to.
Is there any background checks?
Yeah, it has to get shipped to an FFL. You have to have fast background check before you get possession.
So where would you get your background check?
From an FFL.
Where, here?
Yeah, there's multiple. I mean, you can get a federal firearm.
But you would pick one here to have it shipped to?
Have it shipped to. I don't know.
Do you have someone you use all the time?
I've had a couple of them. Yeah.
Are they storefronts or just people?
Individuals. So I mean, they'll literally come to my house. They'll have the gun in the trunk.
Okay. And so they'll get their ship. How do you? What if you don't get it?
Because you don't pass the background check?
No. Well, first of all, don't you see if you're going to pass it first before you make
Before you take possession. That's why it's still in the trunk of the car.
But if you don't take possession, you get your money back.
Not necessarily, depending on the purchase. So, I mean, it would have to be refunded back to the other individual.
So technically, you can buy a gun and lose your money because you didn't pass the check.
Yes.
Well, that's bullshit.
That's the law. But see, I mean, technically, see now, and that's where, who was the guy that had the show on cable that got in trouble for tax evasion?
Yeah. He was an asshole. He's in federal prison.
He should be.
Colorado Pain Care.
ColoradoPainCare.com. If you go to that website, you'll find out about Colorado Pain Care. I've been a patient there. I've been working with them, and I'm about ready to have something done, some surgery. I'm going to tell you something. Colorado Pain Care was instrumental in helping me get this done. Now, that doesn't mean most people, by the way, I should just say this up front, most people don't need surgery. They have all kinds of modalities to treat you without surgery. They have physical therapy. They have meds. They have also epidural injections, nerve blocks, things like that. And they will work with whatever you need. That's the thing. There's no one size fits all. You can make an appointment from 7 to 7. From 7 to 7. Same day appointments even available. 303-GOT-PAIN. All major insurance taken. 303-GOT-PAIN. Let's talk about Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. One of the finest people I know, and definitely one of the best real estate brokers. He can show you statistically how he sells for more money and faster than most anywhere. And he'll go to the neighborhoods specific and show you the actual sales he's done. He'll show you listings he's done and some of the offers they've gotten compared to neighbors. He is an open book. He wants you to be completely satisfied and trust him. That's why he won't hold you to a long-term contract. He wants you to be satisfied. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. He'll even answer the number. 303-920-1622.
Yeah, because he made the argument that technically, I mean,
yeah, I know. He made the argument.
You had to buy the gun before he did the.
Yeah, that you had to be a customer. That you had to be not an owner. How did he put it? You had to be a purchaser.
Right. So in other words, he made the argument that you were making a deposit on the gun. You had to buy the gun because otherwise he couldn't actually do the background check on you on that gun because it wasn't your gun. It never made sense to me the way he argued.
He said, if you didn't purchase the gun, I can't do the background.
Right, exactly.
Now, you don't have to take possession, but you have to make the purchase.
Right.
Then I said, well, then what if they don't pass? He says, well, then, he says, I'll have to resell it for him.
Yeah, but he basically bought it back at a discounted rate. Yeah, he was a crook.
But how does
if
I go to a store, how does it work?
If you go to a store,
a real store,
okay, then you got a shotgun, you're gonna buy a shotgun, ABC number. You get on, you're like, let's just say it's Cabela's. They actually have a computer. You sit down and just fill in all your own information. Okay, you still have to pay for the background check, and then within minutes, as long as you're a good guy, you'll actually have the answer. Then Cabela's will turn around and sell you the gun once that they've gotten that information.
And if you don't pass, what happens?
Then they won't sell you the gun.
But you haven't lost
They have to pay $30 for the background check.
You still have to pay.
Yeah, they still did. They still have to pay the CBI.
Yeah, but that's just a couple of bucks. You don't lose the money on the
$30,
rifle.
yeah.
But this guy, all he has to do is call his credit card company and say, I ordered something, I didn't get the product, and they'll return his money. It doesn't matter whether it's fraud or whether it's a
you're right.
A supply chain issue. He ordered something, he never got it, he gets the money back.
The only complication there is when they say they did ship it.
Well, they have to prove it. And he said they gave him a false UPS number. And if they're not answering the phones, maybe when the fraud people at Visa call them and they don't get a response, they'll just verify the fact that this is a fraudulent organization.
The same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches, urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound. It's almost everything they can do at the ER. You never feel rushed.
Like during that whole shutdown, there was 2 weeks, right? We were
shut down for 2 weeks? 2 what?
During the pandemic, was it about 2 weeks?
That was what they said. It was supposed to be 2 weeks we were shut down, yeah.
Was your shop open?
60 days, yeah. We never missed a beat.
Never. During the COVID, the safer at home, you didn't stay at home? You weren't essential, oh, you were? Auto repair was.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got harassed up on the drain station. Officer wanted to know why I was recreating so far away from home. He was the first person I'd seen all fucking day. What's the matter to you?
What's that?
I told him you're the first person I've seen all fucking day. What's the matter to
what
you?
Did he say?
He kind of laughed and left me alone.
Yeah, it's like
get out of here, man. Are you that bored?
Infecting the fish.
Well, of course, Biden says Putin's tax on both food and gas is to blame. Because of the fact that it was rampant before the war.
He just thinks everybody else's mental state is as bad as his.
He is such a stupid fucking idiot. Hi, Tom Martino. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Wally, you have a comment on Greg's issue. He made a purchase online, never got the gun. What is your comment?
He got spooked. Why would you buy through Gunbroker in an auction and then be asked to pay for it outside of Gunbroker? That's like buying through eBay and then the seller asks you to go to a different website to pay for it. His only chance of getting his money back is going to be to contest the charge on his credit card. But I bought through Gunbroker before. You buy through Gunbroker, you pay through Gunbroker because they're collecting their sales tax, they're collecting their commission. This is a non-existent company, and he's never going to get his rifles.
Thank you, Wally. That's what we're thinking, Greg. I would tell him it was a scam. Tell him that they offered a product for sale and never came through. Greg? I think he hung up, but it was a scam. You will get your money back from your credit card. There's no doubt about it. You were scammed. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Chris. Hi, Chris. We have time for a lot of calls, 303-713-8255. Go ahead. What's happening, Chris?
Well, I called you yesterday about the Subaru Crosstrek.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking to Jeff Vick here. What about it?
Well, they said that they're waiting on the headliner, which I guess is part of the body work, but that
but wait a minute. I thought you said it was smacked in the rear end near the tire. How did your headliner get damaged?
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Well,
too.
I'll bet you your car got vandalized. Did you go down and look at your car like that one guy suggested?
I haven't in a while. I mean,
Well, that's
I
what
did a
you
couple
should do.
months ago.
You know what? I think that these guys have your car torn apart because it was vandalized.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and then they say that there's no shipping date, that's now back ordered, and there's no.
Well, then go to an
invoice yet.
upholsterer. You don't need to get a
Factory
piece of
headliner.
headliner. You just go to an upholstery shop.
Yeah. You know what?
Okay.
I'm telling you something. You got a problem. I think that they're lying to you.
Well, I have thought so too,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to rock the boat. So what do I do?
Well, where can you drive down there and look at your car?
I could. I guess I could ask to see it.
Well, you have every right. Maybe we should call for her. This is a lot of bull. There's something wrong here. They've had your car for 6 months, and now they're saying they're waiting on a headliner. Did you happen to ask, why the hell do I need a headliner?
Well, it was my insurance agent that found out for me, so I didn't actually talk to her.
Who? Your agent found out?
I went to my insurance agent to see if I could get, yesterday before I even called, to see if I could get like a break on the comprehensive insurance. And so she knew someone at Subaru that called for me, and that's
You
how
need
I
to go
found out that
directly.
information.
Okay? Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. I tell you what I did yesterday. You need to go directly. You need to drive down there. You need to see what the hell they're doing with your car and possibly even prepare to get it out of there. Something is going on. I think your car was vandalized, and I think they're trying to cover it up. Go and investigate and let us know, and we'll help you. 303-713-TALK. Now, I think we're done with Greg. Why
He's
did he
actually called back?
Why? Oh. Why'd you call back, Greg? What's going on?
Tom, I wasn't sure how you think I should pose the issue to the credit card.
Here's how I would do it. I went to an online auction, and I bought a gun, and I never got it. And come to find out, these people are fraudulent.
Got it. So be truthful and tell them exactly what happened.
Well, I would, because
Very
you're
good.
protected against that kind of fraud. Unless they're going to try to say you were negligent in doing that. You went to a regular site I would tell them the whole story. Gun brokers. Then they told you to go make payment. You did, and you never got it.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, let us know what happens, please. We want to know. Because that's really important. Now, Marcia, what's going on with American Van Lines?
Yes.
What's going on?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I was moving from Denver up cross country, and I checked into movers. I contracted with American Van Lines, looking at their reviews.
Now, hold on. That's really good. If you truly contracted with a real American Van Lines mover, agent, that's better than getting a Florida broker who's going to rip you off.
Well, they are located. American Van Lines is located out of Florida.
No, then it's
Pompano.
no. Then they're not. Nope, you didn't get the real American Van Lines. You got a rip off. Did they take money up front? Did they take money up front? Huh?
Of course.
How much?
Yes, $6,000.
How'd you pay it?
Visa.
Okay. Good. You paid it on a credit card. It's a scam. Now, how did you find this American? Where is this American Van Lines located?
Pompano, Florida. They said it's. I googled American Van Lines. They sent me everything.
Let me ask you this: there's a very slim possibility you actually did maybe get an American Van Lines agent, but I want the phone number and everything. I want one of our people to call to verify this. How did you? Okay, where are you moving, Marcia?
I'm moving to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Then this doesn't make sense to me. Why would an American Van Lines agent in Florida do this move?
They told me they don't have people on site to itemize my.
No, okay, it's a scam. You've been scammed, Marcia. Call your credit card company and tell them you want to reverse the charge immediately because it's a scam.
Well, the thing that's confusing is they gave me a coordinator They gave me a window date.
It's
They
a
said
scam.
it's
The
coming
window
up.
date, they're going to come and get even more money from you. Marcia, you don't have to listen to me. I've handled 50 of these
Okay.
cases. 50 of them. 50 of them. Okay? And that's just this year. You have been ripped off. Call your credit card company. Now, I hope, was it a debit card or a credit card?
Credit card.
Good. Call your credit card company. Here's what I would tell them. I don't care. I'd say I never made the charge, period. Now, you didn't sign anything, did you?
Yes, I signed everything. I signed a contract with American Van Lines.
Can you send us the
Online.
contract? Can you send us the contract?
I sure can. I have a quick question. How do you know if
Well,
it's an official American Van Line?
Because I've handled 50 complaints on moving, rip-offs, lying, cheating. Hold on. Every single one of them was in Florida. And they use names like United and American, and they use all those names, but I don't think it was really, that's why I want to see your contract, because I think you got fooled. I don't think it really is American Van Lines. I think you were told it was American Van Lines. Do you have the website you went to?
Yes.
Can you give Daphne the website as well? I want the website address, and I also want you to send me the contract. We'll look at it and give you some advice.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Root Insurance.
And it's picking up out there. An accident eastbound I-70 at Peoria. Stop and go from I-270. Another wreck at northbound I-25 at Thornton Parkway. This one has been cleared, but slow from Highway 36. And then that construction being done southbound I-25 in Douglas County between Plum Creek Parkway and Toma Road as they work on the express lane in that area. Air Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Mostly
Clear 63 tonight. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon tomorrow. Otherwise sunny and hot. High near 97. Sunday mostly sunny and 94.
This is them.
Yeah.
They're fucking lying, cheating.
Yeah, because actually it's supposed to be North American.
That's right.
Hey there, Colorado.
That's right.
Car insurance ads. At Root, we do car insurance differently.
I knew something sounded weird. Like, well, that just might sound right. Why doesn't that sound right?
Because we don't need a mascot to save you money. Root, for good drivers.
And they're in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hold on.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com. What is that? It's an estate planning attorney. We know Blake Harris. We've known him for years. And what he does is he'll help you plan your estate. The earlier, the better, by the way. If you're in your 30s or 40s, you need a plan, then you need to update it. You might need a will, and then later on a trust. You may need a combination, a beneficiary's deed. There's all different vehicles, all different tools you can use to protect your assets from lawsuits and creditors, then protect your heirs to make sure they don't squander your stuff. And you may need a special needs trust or all kinds of other help. He'll give you free quotes. All you have to do is ask your questions, and you get free answers. Then, when you hire him, he'll charge you flat rates. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
History isn't always boring. In fact, sometimes it can be downright creepy. I'm Aaron Mahnke, the creator and host of Lore, a podcast that gives new life to the darkest stories from history.
888 number, of course.
Discover the legendary podcast that gave birth to a TV show.
Yep, Pompano Beach.
It unlocked the love for the darker side of history in the hearts of millions of people around the world. Listen to Lore today on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you.
She's moving from Colorado to Michigan, she said?
What did we tell the guy Derek to do? The FBI, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of high interest debt, remodel instead of moving, or buy new with their exclusive pre-approval U.S. Harvard cash offers. 303-827-7000. Every loan customized for you. First they listen, then they know. IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000. Hurting your neck or back can be a serious hit to your happiness and way of life. Pain relief doesn't have to mean an endless cycle of medication and doctor visits. Find one's effective, minimally invasive treatments for back, neck, and joint pain that help Colorado.
I'm going to call them over the weekend, Tom,
years
and ask them if they have their own trucks and
if you're ready to get your life
how they can give me an estimate if they don't have anybody come to my house.
Or go online at spy1.com. Are you embarrassed by your smile? Are you unable to eat the foods you love, afraid to laugh, or to live a normal life, even afraid to go out in public? Dr. Barrett's with Barrett's Dental Group
I believe that you deserve a smile that you can be proud of so you can live your life the way you want, with the peace of mind that you can smile without embarrassment and that your mouth is healthy. At Barrett's Dental, we want to help you get your life back. I invite you to my office for a free consultation where you can find out for yourself if you are comfortable at Barrett's Dental. We offer total dental solutions, meaning we can handle all of your dental care in one convenient location without referring you all over town. If you feel safe at Barrett's Dental, it's the last place you need to visit to get the care you need.
By the way,
Of your mouth causing you to live a life of quiet desperation.
having nothing to do with the show, I get more texts having nothing to do with the show from all my people and business associates who know I have a show.
They always doing the show, right?
Absolutely.
If you have certain chronic conditions, such as heart disease, asthma,
Vivian, she needs an attorney. She just keeps telling me the same old shit.
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or nurse about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
One of the investigators or inspectors or whatnot, she was sounded more like crack. She was either crack or meth.
Oh, you mean that Marshall, that crazy
Maria?
person? What?
Maria?
Oh, yeah. She had no idea what she was talking about.
No, she was either on crack. It sounded like crack.
I'm going to ask you about getting vaccinated. With Prevnar 20. Cranberry, cranberry, healthy.
This guy advertises Grainberry all over the country.
Yeah, every other minute.
Well, it's better than the Vaj.
They're both bad.
Our cranberry cereals are packed with tons of plant-based fiber.
In fact, they're a good combination to eat together than the Vaj. The nasal flush. You put it on that Grainberry. We want to talk about county.
Only whole grain to help slow sugar storage, which helps manage diabetes and prediabetes.
I mean, what a product to try to get into. Seriously.
Well, you know why? Because cereal is so unhealthy. You know what's a sham? Is how Cheerios advertises it's good for your heart. It's fucking a sham.
And make today the day that you truly take control of your health with Grainberry.
Cranberry, cranberry, healthy cereal for your family.
Stay connected with your favorite shows on Denver's Talk Station. Sign up for our newsletter email now at khal.com/newsletter. Breaking news, weather, sports, and more from our community. That's khal.com/newsletter.
Newsletter.
Hi, Tom.
What does Bob want? We can squeeze him in. Does Bob want something? Yes, no, maybe.
The number he called is not, he has to leave a message, so maybe we'll put a shout out to Mike to call back in, give the right number.
What are we talking about?
So Mike is the one, Bob's the one who's homeless and was looking for a place?
Yeah. Yes, he is. He is. And he was looking for a place, and the guy that called in has a truck driving school, he said, up north in Fort Lupton. And he said, I have plenty of parking up here and maybe even a part-time job. So is he saying the number we took down wasn't correct?
Yeah, he had to leave a message, and I told him to wait. And then,
yeah, I'm sure.
On Monday.
Was it a truck driving? Hey, Bob, was it a truck driving school you called?
It was a personal number, I believe, a cell phone maybe.
This guy's legit. He's called the show before. He's legit.
Oh, yeah, because I'm in Daytona right now. It's like 9 miles away. I could be over there.
You mean Daytona? You said Daytona. You were in Daytona, right?
I don't have my teeth in, so, yeah, no, Daytona.
Daytona. Yeah. Daytona, that's good. Hey, listen, man, don't worry about it. I'm just giving you a hard time. So,
that's all right.
You can get a job with a moving company.
But really, you will be able to. You just hold on. He'll call you back. Daff, you took his number down. You're good at. You didn't miss. Did you call that number to see?
We double checked it.
Okay.
And I think if he doesn't call, I told him to call back on Monday, but I would just head that way. He'll be there.
It was a truck. I know he said specifically it was a truck driving school up there. Anyway.
I used to live in Fort Lupton, Tom.
Did you?
Not
Then
very big.
Then you know my buddy Purifoy Chevrolet, right?
I hear you talk about him. Yeah, no, I don't know him personally, no.
Okay, well, listen, you just hang on to that number and call him back, or make sure he calls you, and we're double check. I'm doing it right now. Truck driving school I'm doing it right now. I'm putting truck driving school Fort Lupton. And anyway, as far as wrapping it up with Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, Jeff, as far as transmissions go, torque converters, everything, you're saying there's still it's hit and miss. There's no way to know.
There's no way to know. I mean, we'll start to see trends because we've got our own social networks with different shops around the country. So you'll start to see people complaining that they can't find this, they can't find that. So you get a little bit of a heads up, but sometimes you're the first one to blow that whistle where people are noticing.
So and again, is it really as simple as servicing a transmission to get the most life out of it?
That's the most cost-effective means you can use in order to try.
What about this thing I hear about adjusting it? What does that mean, adjusting it?
Depending on
like bands or
most of today's newer transmissions, there's really no adjustants.
Okay, they're lifetime sealed.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, not necessarily sealed, but like you said, bands, and that's particularly what you're usually looking at. You would used to be able to tighten them up.
Not anymore.
For a brake shoe, correct.
All right, and that's Kimmer Transmission. He's at the corner, basically the southeast corner in that area of Jordan and Arapahoe. Transmissionsdenver.com, 303-693-1400. And anyway, all I want to tell you is if you go to referralist.com, you'll get help, information, and referrals.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app.
Tired of long waits and rushed care to ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital.
I gotta get home. I got so many Zoom calls. Oh shit.
Going right there.